Welcome to High School Sports on the Hartford Cable Network. I'm Don Morrison along with Bob McCone. We're just in time to honor our country with our national anthem. Nice job of the Bel Air Bobcat Marching Band. Bob McCone, by now the folks realize we are in Bel Air. They're playing Fallston. And again, when you say Bel Air Fallston, you don't need to say a whole lot more.
Big rivalry. It's been a big rivalry. If you think about Bel Air High School, over the years they've split into 4 high schools. Originally it was just Bel Air, then it became Bel Air and Fallston.
Actually, go back to Edgewood. Edgewood was once part of Bel Air.
Bel Air, yes.
So Edgewood was first in 1954.
Okay, I stand corrected. Edgewood, Fallston, C. Milton Wrights, and Patterson Mill.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
receive students from Bel Air High School
and
when
don't forget
school
Hartford
started.
Tech, of course.
And Hartford Tech,
who
gets all the students from,
Yep.
from
You're
all the
absolutely
schools.
right. You go back in the 1970s, Bel Air was one of the 3 or 4 largest schools in the entire state. They had like 3,500 kids in one school.
Now, they were a football powerhouse in the 60s.
They were.
You know, in the early 60s, they played Bethlehem High School in Pennsylvania. They played Salesianum in Delaware. You know, Al Seski was coaching at the time, Dave Seski's father.
Yes.
And they ran a full house backfield, and they always had a quarterback who was a magician with the ball. I mean, so many great quarterbacks. I'll probably forget them all, but Joe Allen Phipps, Jeff Grants, Dennis Dunn.
Yeah. And you mentioned Dave Seski, and of course the name Dave Seski, whenever we talk about Fallston, he is synonymous with Fallston. He opened the program in 1977, and he coached there continuously until 3 years ago when he stepped down and Jimmy Grant, who's now the coach, took over. So in the entire history of Fallston High School, they've had 2 head coaches.
Yeah, and Jimmy was the heir apparent because Dave felt that Jimmy would be a really outstanding coach, and he had coached. He had played for Dave at Fallston High School, and then he had coached with Dave at Fallston High School. And you know, Dave always believes he's still going to be an outstanding coach. So,
and Jimmy Grant, who played at Fallston, now coaching his alma mater, and Eric Siegel, the coach of Bel Air, who played at Bel Air for Bruce Riley, now coaching the head coach at Bel Air. Eric in his first year as the head coach. Now, of course, he's been coaching for 15 or more years, you know, in different aspects of the Bel Air program. So he took over really right before practice started, you know, in the beginning of this year. So it looks like they're tossing the coin now, and Fallston will receive. Bel Air got their coin toss, and they deferred. And so Bel Air will be going from left to right across the field in those blue uniforms, all blue, home uniforms. Fallston going from right to left. Fallston coming in at 1-4, Bob. They opened with a win against Winters Mill. They've lost the last 4 games in a row. Bobcats opened with that forfeit loss. Then they won 2, but now they've lost 2 in a row. So both teams come in on a downside, both needing a win, both wanting a win against their arch rival.
Yeah, and the teams are a little bit different. Bel Air's a little more experienced than Fallston. And Fallston's really in a rebuilding period right now. Bel Air their strength on offense is running the football.
Yep.
And they run off tackle. If you can take away the off tackle runs by Bel Air, you're going to make them do some things that they just don't want to do. Fallston, on the other hand, can throw the football a bit, and you know, it's going to be interesting from that standpoint.
Yeah, Bel Air has thrown the ball only 28 times all year, but then you look at their running backs. Jalen Reeves, the big 204-pounder, averaging 10.7 yards per carry. Tristan Smith, the young sophomore, who's already being looked at by Colorado State, averaging 6.6. And the quarterback, Brendan Purdell, he's averaging 12.3 yards per carry, so they can hit you from all different directions. And then Justin Dill, their flanker back, also comes into the backfield as well. So the Bobcats now getting ready to kick off. Interesting, Darius Ashman, their kickoff placement and also punter from Australia. He's going to return to Australia after the season is over. So, you know, he's enjoying American football. So Fallston running the ball back, going to get it out to about the 30-yard line, where the Cougars will put it in 1st and 10 as they send out their offensive unit. That'll be Justin Wiegand, their quarterback, and their running backs Noah Richard and Jeremy Williams. Wide receivers Kevin Roberts, Neil Gill, and Nick Curry. That's the Fallston offensive
like
unit.
Richard on the return. It was hard to see that number on the other side of the field, but it was 40-something. So,
and a good run back. They'll put the ball in play just about at maybe the 29-yard line. Nice crisp fall day. Temperatures probably in the high 50s. Wind not a factor. A little bit of a breeze blowing into the face of the Fallston Cougars. Quarterback Wiegand, 531 yards gained passing. First down off the right side. Looked like that was Noah Richard.
yes.
Picked up maybe about 4 or 5 yards on first down. Good first down play.
Yeah, it was a hand tackle on him. If he broke that hand, he'd have gone a lot further.
Noah averaging 4.2 yards per carry. He is the top runner for the Cougars, who, again, as you said, Bob, rely more on the passing attack.
Yeah, they're in pretty much a split I formation. I mean, running backs are in an I formation, the receivers are wide.
And Curry to the near side. Hand off to the deep back. That's Roberts again. He's going nowhere. Looked like 58 on the tackle coming in for making that tackle. Noah Richard with the carry. Tackle, made by Cody Rush coming off that defensive left end position.
Now we're about 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6.
3rd and a long 5, maybe even 3rd and 6. So we'll see if they go to the air here early with 10:55 and counting left in the first period. There you see Wiegand. He is a senior, one of the few seniors on this team who play a lot. Averaging 42% completion.
Bel Air's in a 4-4 or 6-2, depending on how they want to call that.
Back to throws Wiegand, rolling to his right, throwing the ball, has a man. It's going to be off his fingertips and almost intercepted.
Wow.
It will fall incomplete at the 50-yard line, and that'll bring up a 4th down. Kevin Roberts was the intended receiver.
Yeah.
Roberts went up high, and that was a difficult and a very dangerous pass, Bob, right in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he went up, put both hands up, and it hit him in the hands, but he was way up in the air and came down a little strange. So
Caleb Hemrick in to punt the ball away. Caleb averaging only about 20 yards per punt, but Bob, as you said, we saw him in pregame. He was really booming the ball.
He was at that time.
Good snap. That's a low sort of a line drive kick. It's coming near the sideline. It's going to come down and roll dead just about at the 38-yard line. That punt would not make you think of Ray Guy.
No, but it's about a 32-yard punt in it after everything was said. But again, it was just a line drive. When he was punting in practice, he was hitting the ball high in about 35, 37 yards. And then right at the end, he started lining it. And that's what he just did here.
And that's the kind of punt that could have been blocked had the Bel Air Bobcats been rushing.
Wow.
Brendan Purtell, the starting quarterback. It's a full house backfield. Reeves, Smith, and Dill behind quarterback Purtell. Purtell is a junior.
Here they go off tackle with their
Reeves
big back.
At left side, following Justin O'Bannon. Well, Justin O'Bannon, the 6'4", 235-pounder, Bob. Watch him all night, number 75. He goes both ways. He is a man among boys.
58.
That was Eric Beinecker, who the middle linebacker who came in and made the tackle, the junior. Pickup of about, say, 4 on first down. Ball out to the 43-yard line. They've got to get up near midfield to the 48. 2 backs, turn, give to Reeves again, down the middle, close to the first down, almost to the 50-yard line.
Definitely first down.
With that Bel Air offensive line, Noel, Tyler Sims, Alexander Valangas, Thomas Martino, Justin O'Bannon, Andrew Yingling. they are a big unit, 285, 235, 260, 230, and 270 across the front.
Well, they came off the football well that time. Drove the Fallston defensive lineman backwards.
First down and 10 right at the midfield stripe.
Now Fallston's playing like a 4-4 right here.
Handoff, this is Reeves again. Going to be hit and held after he crosses the line of scrimmage.
That's a
Is that a
4-yard
fumble?
gain.
Is that a fumble? Let's see. The ball was free. Now let's see. Now, was he down or not? That's Gillen Ziervogel, excuse me, Gillen. Number 32 who made that tackle.
Okay, they said he was down at second down.
Second down, and they picked up about 4 on the play to the 46-yard line. 3-play drive started back at the 38-yard line. Purtell gets the play in from his coach. Brendan Purtell, 5'9", 145-pound junior. Not a big kid, but we saw him play against Seamilton Wright, Bob. He is versatile. He can throw the ball, throw it on the run. He can run as well. Averaging 12.3 yards per carry. Turn. Give to Smith.
Oh, nice initial hit there.
Hit right
by
on
Banneker.
Yeah, that's Banneker.
Or Banneker,
again.
yeah.
Oh boy, he is tough. But Smith twisted and gained about 2 or 3 yards. Tristan Smith, a sophomore, 5'8", 170 pounds.
Quick.
Averaging 6.5 yards per carry. Come up now, third down. Third and a long 3, maybe a short 4. Second possession of the game, Bel Air's first possession. Took it on the punt. 8 minutes, 15 seconds and counting left in the first period.
Now here we come with an end and a flanker out here.
Yeah, only 2 backs behind.
Yeah, here comes a rollout. This is Bel Air's passing formation.
Complete, out of bounds he goes, first down.
Number 15.
Catch made by number 19. 19 for the Bobcats, that's Dean Dugan. Dugan on the completion, goes out of bounds. I think he was looking to try to stay inbounds, but he picked up the first down.
That's their bread and butter pass play right there. That flood the zone, sprint out to that side, and they throw the ball down the field 10, 12 yards off of that. Now they're set up that way on the opposite on the left side this time instead of the right.
2 wide receivers to the left side, split backfield behind quarterback Purtell. Fake, rolling left, being rushed, gets around the one man. He's going to keep the ball and run it. Downfield and out of bounds he goes. Good gain of about 9 or 10 yards on first down.
Nice comeback block. Yeah, there's a nice comeback block from the wide receiver on that play for Bel Air.
Yeah, that might have been Emig,
some room.
85 or perhaps even 88, Jacob Grew. 2 big wide receivers. Grew is 6'2", 175 pounds, and Emig is 6'2", 215. So they've got size at both ends.
Yeah, well, these were this was 16, I believe.
Who came back and made the crackback?
Yeah.
So that's Arnold Guerra. Again, full house backfield this time. Turn to give inside. That's Reeves. Reeves pounding and staying on his feet inside the 20-yard line. Wow, what a run that was.
This is 1960s Bel Air football right here. 3 yards, or except this time 10 yards in a cloud of dust.
Except now they're playing on turf, so it's a cloud of rubber fragments coming up, I guess.
Telling you, the old Bel Air football coach Al Seski would be in his heyday. We're sitting up here and watching the offense that he ran and perfected so much at Bel Air High School.
You mentioned Joe Allen Phipps, the graduate of 1960, who went out to North Dakota State, I believe. Probably the first big recruit that came out of Harford County back in those days. Rolling, looking, throwing into the end zone. It's going to be caught, but it was the inbounds. Nope, the official says he's out of bounds. That call just a little bit out of bounds there.
I want to see the replay on that, because in high school you only need in high school you only need 1 foot in bounds. You don't need 2.
Tyrone Hunsborough was the linesman who called that. That was close. Incomplete is the call. 7:10 and clock stopped as the ball was out of bounds.
Yeah, 2nd and 10 on the 20.
Yep.
And full house backfield again.
That was a touchdown, Bob, right there.
It was. There's the big number.
Big
Jalen
number
Reeves
7,
again.
Jalen Reeves, the 6'2", 204 pounds. Jalen is averaging 10.7 yards per carry, scored 4 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. Picked up 5 on the second down. We'll make up a big third down, about 3rd and 5. I assume you're in 4-down territory.
Yeah, well,
Ashman is a good kicker, so it would be a decision that Eric Sigel would have to make.
Well, the way they run the football here is going to be interesting. Fallston's really got to come after them and stop them.
Reeves cutting it outside, back inside. I think he's got the first down. First time we've seen that shotgun formation.
He's got to get to a little past the 9-yard line or the 9-yard line. So
it's going to be close. Let's see where they put it down. No, they're going to say it's 4th down. Might be close enough for a measurement.
I don't know. They said 1st and 10 on the board. Now I don't know.
They still got, now they're saying 1st and goal. 1st and goal at the 9-yard line, just inside the 10. So the Bobcats have 4 plays to cover that 9 yards to get the first score with 6:08 and counting left in the first period.
You see what Fallston's going to do with their goal line defense here. 9 yards away.
2 wide receivers to the near side.
Yeah.
2 backs behind Purtell. Smith and Reeves. Rolling.
He's going to run.
Keeping it.
Oops.
Throwing it.
Oh,
has it.
open.
Touchdown in the corner of the end zone. Let's see who that was.
Number 10.
Number 10 for the Bobcats. And that is Brock Ketchum. Brock Ketchum, who makes the reception in the
We
corner
have
of
a
the end
flag
zone.
on the play.
There's a flag on the play.
Let's see if it comes back. Yep, it's going to be
an eligible receiver downfield.
Eligible downfield. That's going to wipe it out and back up 10 yards for the Bobcats. So wipe that touchdown off. 11-play drive started back at the 38. Here we see the replay. This is the touchdown that wasn't. Well, and it's the replay that wasn't. Well, here it is. Nice roll, nice throw. Can't see who that offensive player was that was downfield, the lineman, but the official said, yep, downfield.
Yeah, we're not going to throw him under the bus anyway.
I couldn't see one. It must have been on the far side of the field.
Okay, so now we're at 1st and 14.
Yep.
Or 1st and goal from the 14.
1st and goal, a 5-yard penalty. Fallston jumps, and I think they're going to give back that 5 yards. Purtell with the hard
hard count. Yep.
Now Fallston is clapping like Bel Air was the guilty party. Let's see. Yeah, they're going to say
call procedure.
And that will cost Bel Air another 5, so they're going in the wrong direction if they get inside the 10. I didn't see who jumped for Bel Air. Maybe the center may have moved the ball a bit.
Now it's on the 19-yard line and 1st and goal from the 19.
Corey Kwamini in the ball game. Corey is normally a defensive back, number 39, but he's in now as a running back along with Tristan Smith.
Actually, he's going to.
Corey is flanked out here to the near side. Here's the snap. Pitch to Smith. Smith has got a blocker in front of him. He's going to go down inside the fumble. The ball goes out of bounds, and that is a break for the Bel Air Bobcats.
Big break, huge break. They must have watched the Ravens play last week because they punched that ball last week because they punched that ball out.
And it stayed in bounds. How did that
That was the Ravens game stayed in bounds. That one went out of bounds, which helped Bel Air and hurt Fallston.
The ball gets down to the 4-yard line. That'll still be now a 1st and goal, or actually 3rd and goal, 2nd and goal it is. 2nd down and goal from the 4. Big pickup by Smith. It's a game of about 8 yards or 9 yards on 1st down.
Well, here we're back in the full house backfield again.
Keeping the ball is Purtell, rolling, throwing, has a man complete. See if we can pick up a number there. It looks like number 88, and that is Jacob Grew. Grew on the touchdown from Purtell, a 4-yard touchdown pass.
Well, that was a pretty throw.
It really was. Rolling Bob to his left, a very difficult play for a
difficult
right-handed
play.
quarterback.
Yep.
Here's the replay coming up.
We're getting ready to attempt the extra point here.
Yep, and there's the touchdown, and Ashman to attempt the extra point.
Oh, nice. It was wide right.
Wide to the right, so while you're away,
good,
Ashman missed the extra point, so the score will remain 6-0.
He hit it good, but he pushed it from the inside out, and the ball went wide right.
Purtell to Grew for the 4-yard touchdown pass, and so the Bobcats break ahead with 5:35 left in the first period. Missed the extra point. They lead by 6-0. Bob, you've seen what Bel Air likes to do, and that is run the ball, but then on the rollout pass, Pertell can hit the ball either left or right. We've seen him do both.
He throws the ball very, very nicely from rolling to either side. He actually threw two touchdown passes, except for his own lineman who was downfield.
And Mr. Ketchum, who had that touchdown pass taken away from him, whoever the lineman was that was downfield, he's not going to be happy with him.
Oh.
Ashman with a line drive kick. It'll come up on one bounce at the 25-yard to the 30, and down he'll go at the 35.
And
is
it looks
that
like
a
there's a ball on the ground.
Is the ball loose?
Nope, he said he was down.
Down he was. Can't see who ran the ball back, but it's going to be at the 35-yard line where Fallston will have good field position again. At their own 35-yard line.
These light orange numbers are really hard to see, Don.
Especially when you're old like my eyes are.
Yeah.
That's like 70 yards away. I'm having trouble. What is your name? Oh yeah, Bob McCone sitting next to me.
I like the white with Bel Air. You can.
By the way, Dave Wren said hello to us. You know Big Dave from
I know
Fallston?
Big Dave. Yep.
Hello, Dave.
Mr. Fallston.
Yes, he is that. Well, here come the Cougars now, looking to see if they can get back on the board now and pull even. Back to throw Wiegand. Lofts the ball. It's going to be caught. Caught down that right sideline. Is that number 16? Is that Kevin
flag
Roberts?
on the ground?
Yeah, it's 12 that made the catch. Nick Curry. That was a great catch, Bob.
Flag on the ground.
Let's see, they're coming back, though. Flag right at the line of scrimmage. What a tough break. That's, again, illegal downfield. Holding downfield.
Holding, yeah.
Looks like two penalties.
Like two penalties.
Wow.
So they'll take the hold. The other one's only 5 yards.
Here's the replay. You'll be able to see this catch again. That wasn't. Nice play by Wiegand. He just throws it off his back foot. Curry goes up, catches it in two hands, and then holds it in one hand. But again, that play will not count.
I mean, it was a nice throw from Wiegand because he got it up in the air and gave his receiver a chance to get up in the air and go get it, and he did.
And Bob, you'll see he didn't get a chance to step into the ball. He threw that off his back foot.
Yeah.
Justin Wiegand, the senior quarterback. It'll be now first down and 20. The ball goes back to the 25-yard line. High backfield behind Wiegand. Jeremy Williams and Noah Richard. Richard running hard up the middle. Wow. He gets slammed down, but not until he crosses the 35-yard line.
It's about a 12-yard, 12-yard gain there.
Looked like the tackle was by Matt Conroy. Conroy, the big sophomore who started as a freshman last year. Bob, we've heard great things about Matt Conroy, number 12.
Absolutely. Everybody talks about the young man, you know, bright future.
6 foot, 190-pound sophomore, played varsity as a freshman. High backfield, they gained back to 10, they lost +1. Second down and 9. Richard with the ball.
Yeah, Bel Air closed that down quickly.
It might have been Conroy who came in, and O'Bannon, too, number 75. We told you about this young man, Justin O'Bannon, the two-way tackle defensive end.
On the stop, number 75, Justin O'Bannon.
Gain of nothing, actually. Well, maybe give him a yard.
A loss of a yard, actually.
Yeah. Third down and 10. Ball at the original line of scrimmage at the 35. There you see the clock running at 4:07. Bobcat Stadium, a beautiful facility here in the Bel Air Bobcats Stadium. High backfield. Wiegand pitches it.
Halfback pass.
Looking to try to throw the ball. He's being hemmed in and gets it away. It's going to be incomplete, almost intercepted, but I think it's out of bounds.
He was out of bounds when he caught the pass.
That pass by 22, Brandon Clavin. Brandon on the trickeration didn't kind of work. Good job by the Bobcats.
He was under pressure. O'Bannon was on him, and
so now they're going to put in their punter. It'll be Caleb Hemrick.
Yeah, here we go again, because we're going to find out what he brings to this punt. Boy, in practice, he was just so relaxed and kicking the ball, and then now all of a sudden he's not relaxed.
Second possession, second punt for the Fallston Cougars.
Maybe he'll get relaxed here and hit it.
It's a high wobbler, not very deep. It's going to come down at the 40-yard line and take a bounce Out of bounds it goes and touched inbounds at the 34-yard line.
Yeah,
That's
he
where
didn't down it.
Bobcats will put it in play.
The official did a real nice job there. He didn't blow the whistle just because he touched it. Because he didn't have his hand and down and had control of it and downed it. So anybody could have picked that ball up.
Yeah. So the Bobcats will take over at their 34, up 6-0. 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first period.
Well, you know what's happening here, Don.
What's that, Bob?
They're going to start running right back, shoving the ball right down Fallston's throat until Fallston stops them.
Bobcats, 2 losses. They really think they should have won both games, Bob. They had a chance against C. Milton and, in their opinion, actually blew the game against Aberdeen last week. Here's Tristan Smith around the left side. He's got some speed, puts his head down, picks up a couple of more yards to the 43-yard line, a gain of 8 on first down.
And there was a Clavin was on that tackle. There was a bunch of kids over there, about 4 or 5 kids over there.
But Smith came from the right side all the way on the left side. That showed the speed he has, Bob.
Yeah, hell, he can run.
Tristan Smith, 5'8", 170-pound sophomore, 6.6 yards per carry. 2 receivers to the near side. Split backfield behind quarterback Purtell. Looking for the first down. That's Reeves again. I think he has it. Bob, you notice a lot of pink here being worn by the Bel Air Bobcats. It is Dig Pink Night, breast cancer awareness
This night.
Next week is their homecoming week against Hartford Tech. That's the short week, the teachers' convention on a Friday, so the game being played on a Thursday.
And then they're having their big homecoming dance next Friday. And principal, Mr. Greg Commander, he's very, very happy that it's not on a Saturday.
Here's a shotgun formation, pistol formation actually. Handoff to Reeves, looking right, going to be hit and held. Nice job by Fallston. Let's see who had the tackle. Looks like the 58. Or 50.
58.
Yeah, 58. That's their defensive middle linebacker, Eric Beinecker. Beineker's been in on plays quite a bit here. We've called that number.
Yeah, that's at least the 3rd time, maybe the 4th.
Loss of about a half yard, second down, and about 10.5 or so. They've got to get inside the 50 to the 44 for the first down.
Well, the way Bel Air runs the football, Fallston's playing a 4-4, so the down linemen really have to either penetrate or hold up the offensive linemen, and then the linebackers have to run and make tackles or come up and make tackles.
Purtell with the ball, rolling left, sets, throws, off the fingertips, incomplete, bringing up 3rd down. Bob, I've seen the Bel Air Bobcats in the other game we did see Milton. Purtell rolls left quite a bit. For a right-handed quarterback, and you played quarterback, certainly not the easiest throw to make.
No, it's a little more difficult to make. I mean, it's hard to get your feet square, so sometimes you lean back on that side of your shoulder, and if you're really not strong enough with the ball coming out of there, and sometimes you don't get enough speed off of it, and it gets picked on you.
Well, why would you, if you're Bel Air, Eric Siegel, why would you have your quarterback rolling left quite a bit?
Well,
Deception?
I think number one, they think he's smart enough not to put the ball up for grabs, and he throws the ball, say he only throws the ball 20 yards that way. Well, they run their patterns where, it's within his reach. Now they're
Third and 10.5. Motion, yep, but
Yeah.
let's see, that's a great tackle coming in and making the stop.
2 people want motion at the same time
Looks
there.
like 41, and 41 is Nick O'Neill. Let's see if I think they can decline this penalty, can they not?
I believe they can.
Because it occurred, well, it may have been a pre-snap penalty. No, they have to accept it because it was a pre-snap penalty.
Yep.
3rd down and still, no, they did not accept it. It is 4th down. They took the loss.
Yeah.
So that will bring up a punting situation. Good job by the Cougars, able to stop Bel Air and force a punt. Bringing in Darius Ashman to punt the ball away.
Yes.
Nice snap. Nice high boot.
There's a nice boot.
Fair
Fair
catch
catch.
called and made. And let's see, will the flag go down?
It
Yes,
will.
it will. Clearly the fair catch signal was made. The young man from Bel Air didn't hit him hard, but he did hit him.
Yeah, he realized it and just couldn't stop and just hit him. didn't hit it, like you said, he didn't hit him hard. He didn't try to knock him down or.
That's
But
going
at
to
the same
cost the
time,
Bobcats 15 yards, and will give Fallston really good field position again.
Yeah, that was number 16 back for Fallston.
That's Kevin Roberts, their wide receiver. And that'll cost the Bobcats 15 yards, and it'll give Fallston the ball outside the 35-yard line. It's up to about the 37. Fallston has begun at their own 29, their own 35, and now their own 37. 3 possessions, haven't been able to do much so far. Minute 16 left, they're down 6-0. Justin Wiglin, the senior quarterback, hands it back to Richard around the right side. Not much happening
Lost
there.
a yard there.
Good job by that right side or left side of the defensive line. Justin O'Bannon and Josh Galinas.
The tackle, number 9, Gavin Yetter.
Also, they're giving tackle credit to Yetter. Gavin Yetter, who's one of the captains on the team, 6 foot, 175 pounds.
Number 9.
The son of Kathy Stout, a great name from Bel Air past.
Bel Air
Karen
past.
Stout, the great field hockey player, and Kathy Stout, who also played field hockey very well at Bel Air. Pitch up coming this way. That's Richard again. Cuts it back inside. Sees a hole, but is going to be hit and taken off his feet at the 40-yard line.
That number. Oh, that was O'Bannon again.
This Justin O'Bannon, 75. He is a
Nice
horse.
size young man.
Morgan State, Delaware State, both of those colleges are wooing him, and either one that gets him is going to be lucky because he is a horse.
He's got nice size. Well, they can put 30 pounds on him and not slow him down.
6'4", 235 right now. That is the end of the first period with the Bel Air Bobcats leading by that 6-0. They scored on a Pertel de Grue touchdown pass at 5:35. It was a 4-yard touchdown pass. And that's where we are as the Cougars have done well defensively on that second drive, Bob, or actually the third drive.
Yes. You know, in the beginning, Fallston, the first possession, they started to move the ball a little bit, and then they gave it up, and then it went back and forth for a little bit. Then Bel Air just shoved it down their throat and scored. And, you know, nice play, nice pass. And Fallston has come back now and played pretty consistent since that point. And
it was a 12-play drive by the Bobcats, 62 yards for the touchdown. It was, as we said, the final 4 yards was Pertel de Grue. But the second possession that we just saw, the punt being forced, Fallston has the ball in good field position, but now they're facing a critical third down. Hey, Bob, the moon, do they call that the harvest moon right here on their screen?
Yeah, it looks sure like.
That's pretty cool.
Yes. You know,
Dylan knows all that. Dylan, is that the harvest moon we're looking at?
It's amazing. You look at Bel Air's results. I mean, they beat South Carroll 56-16. Then they beat Havre de Grace 33-18. And then they have a 36-23 loss to C. Milton. And then it's a 12-7 game to Aberdeen, a loss.
Yeah, I was talking to the Bel Air coaching staff, and they still can't explain it. They said every time we got something started, we shot ourselves in the foot, we got a bad call, we fumbled. So again, they feel those 2 games they should be, 3-1, counting the
straight drop back.
It's Wiegand, has a man deep, and it's going to be
Dropped.
Incomplete. Good defensive play there, right off the fingertips.
Yeah.
It looked like Curry again.
Could have caught that.
Had his hands on the ball, but good defensive play in the backfield. Was that Kwamini? I think it was
No,
number 39.
I can't. It's no.
Curry was the intended
one,
receiver.
It's the one walking in the back, all the way back here.
Oh,
I
that's
can't
Tristan
see the
Smith.
number. Tristan Smith, that's who it was.
Playing
Now
in the
he's,
defensive backfield.
yeah, now Fallston has to punt. He's back as the lone return man, which
Smith
he does
is.
this very well with his quickness. And
Here's Hemrick now with the punt. This time he gets up a nice high punt. Tristan Smith will let it bounce. He'll pick it up. Well, that's a dangerous play, but he was able to come up with the ball. He'll take it out of bounds. Brings it back about 4 or 5 yards to the 32-yard line.
Bobcat first down.
So the Bobcats will put it in play at their 32-yard line. Bob, a dangerous play when that ball is bouncing around and you
Well,
scoop it up and you've got tacklers all around you.
yeah, the thing was the ball bounced straight up in the air,
Mhm.
flat though, and that's a ball that anybody can catch that and take off with
Even
it.
I?
Even I.
Wow.
Uh,
I'm not sure about
it's
that.
it's
but,
when they're turning a little bit, but that ball was just flat for the taking, and Tristan saw it. Just
Yeah.
everybody stopping, and he figured, hey, I can get this and go a little bit, and he did. He ran for about 8 yards.
Timeout on the field.
Timeout,
as,
Fallston.
Timeout.
Bobcats will take over with 11:43 to go in the first period, or first half, I should say, leading by that 6-0 score. Bob, anything surprise you as you see the band getting ready to strike out here? Nice crowd here at Bel Air on a nice crisp fall day. Fall evening.
First of all, it's a beautiful weather to be playing football out here tonight. Yeah, I mean, I saw Bel Air shove the ball down Fallston's throat for a while, and they seeming to get away from that a little bit and throwing the football more than they have all year. Fallston, on the other hand, has become a little more stout on their defensive line and their linebackers, and they've stopped Bel Air sometimes now, and now from a Fallston standpoint, you know, they've got to get some offense going. But of course, they're out here now on defense, and they're going to have to get a defensive stop here. 11:43 left in the second quarter here.
Bob, you and I have been involved with rivalries, and again, they talk about that old cliche about throw out the record books, but it is true. It's bragging rights for the rest of the year and probably for a lifetime between Fallston and Bel Air. Remember the day we beat you at Bel Air?
You never want to lose to guys who might be your friends later in life, even though you know they're
That's
your big
Smith.
rival right now.
Smith with the, I call it a scissors play, where they have one back go one way and the other back come the other.
Yeah, number 9 for Fallston.
Good tack there by number 9, and that is Colin Johnson. But not until he picks up the first down, does Smith. Out across the 40 to the 42, 1st and 10. Purtell, turn, hand to Reeves. Reeves is hit at the line of scrimmage.
And he still gains 4.
Dragging tacklers. Eric Beinecker was the tackler. And Beinecker is not a little guy, nor is he an easy guy to get by.
No, that's the time I like to play safety.
And while he's being held up, he'd come up and hit him.
Exactly.
Jeez, Bob, I didn't know you were that kind of guy.
Hey, free shot, you can't pass it, you know.
2nd down and 6.
But you don't want him to come at you by himself to run
No,
over you. That's what you.
That's when you see him coming by himself, you fall down and roll and hope he trips over you. That's what you try. Brendan Purtell, the junior quarterback, back to throw, rolling,
There's that roll right this time.
throwing, high,
Over.
almost
Oh!
intercepted.
Well,
Into the
there
hands of
was-
Colin Johnson had it, and Colin is now tapping his head saying, hey.
That's the first opportunity Fallston really had to get a pick and to return it for a bit.
Now, Purtell is yet to throw an interception this year, the announcer's jinx.
Yeah, that was, I mean, for him, that was, he overthrew his targets.
That's that roll when you have to set your feet and be able to throw the ball and make sure that shoulder comes through.
Yeah, sometimes the ball goes high on you, and you really don't want that.
Reeves, he's got the first down.
Now, he didn't run like a big back. He ran like a fast back that time.
Beinecker with the tackle, but not until Reeves picks up the first down.
See, that's, you know, I think Bel Air should be running his football. Keep coming at them, keep coming at them. A, try to wear them down, and B, make them stop you.
Yep.
Fallston, on the other hand, has done a nice job up, you know, so far, doing that, stopping them, except for that one touchdown.
Give
And,
Andrew Yingling and Justin O'Bannon credit on that left side of the offensive line. Now the right side, making some yardage and finally dragged down from behind. That's number 19, and that's Dean Dugan.
Wow. I wonder whether if that was going to be a horse collar
I'm
tackle.
sorry, that's Jacob Powell, number 15, not number 19. That's going to be a first down. Well, he showed great patience, and then when he got that opening, Bob, he just took off.
He did. And he had space out wide when when the tackler grabbed him, I honestly thought it was almost a horse collar, but
Yeah.
as far away as I am,
It was close.
Yep.
Jacob Powell, nice change of pace runner.
Here Bel Air is back in their full house backfield again now.
Reeves the middle,
which
man.
usually means Reeves off tackle.
And no, it goes this time to Smith. Cuts it back, and no, that's instead that's Powell. Powell picks up good yardage down inside the 15 to the 13.
Bel Air has like 4 or 5 running backs.
They do.
They can run the football. That's gain of like 6.
Yeah, 1 first down. So now it's 2nd down and a short 4. Bobcats with 9:20 and counting left here in the first half. Up by 6-0. Brendan Purtell, the junior quarterback, 5'9", 145 pounds.
With Bel Air's strong right.
Give on the
And he
scissors
ran that
play. That's
crosser.
Tristan Smith. Smith driving for the end
Touchdown.
zone. And yes, the officials say he's over for the touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown run by Tristan Smith.
What they did, Bel Air, was they overloaded right, and then they ran their overloaded back. He came cutting back across to the opposite side on the inside handoff, and boom, touchdown.
Watch this, Bob, how
See him, inside handoff right there, coming from the opposite.
not until
Nice
he
strong
gets
side
almost
back.
in the end zone. And then he turns those legs and runs through a tackle to get the touchdown.
You want to score.
Tristan Smith now has 4 touchdowns on the year.
Now they're going to go for 2 because they didn't get the extra point the first time.
That drive, a 68-yard drive.
The officials
in 7
timeout.
plays. Not sure what the confusion is.
Now what do we call?
Timeout. The Bobcats take the
Now the
timeout.
Bel Air takes the timeout, but
I guess you want to be sure. These are 2 critical points. Certainly, you go up then by 2 full scores if you can score. Bel Air Bobcats, coached by Eric Siegel, Jeff Samelka, the assistant coach, with John Horgan, Julian Pickett, Devin Bowers, Steve Salters, and Kyle Hemrick, the coaching staff for the Bel Air Bobcats.
this is the offense we've seen today, Don, for Fallston.
Yep.
Number 16, Kevin Roberts. Number 12, Nick Murray. Tight end, Neil Gill. Left tackle, Justin Kennedy. Left guard, Eric Weinecker. Center, Brandon Curry. Right guard, Brady Mills. Right tackle, Seth Strang. The quarterback, Justin Wiggins. Running back, Noah Richards. Jeremy Williams.
Here goes the 2-point conversion now. Purtell with the ball, rolling, throwing, has his man. Is that Smith?
I don't know if he got in.
Yep, they say it's a 2-point conversion. He was able to catch the ball before he went out of play. So from Purtell to Smith, Purtell scores the touchdown, gets the 2-point conversion.
That was a
and
very
that does
nice
make
throw.
it 14-0. And again, it's that rolling left.
I mean, he didn't have, but he didn't have, he had about a yard to throw the football in before he was out of bounds, and a yard about before there were Fallston players to catch the ball before.
Well, Bob, I may show a little prejudice, but Brendan Purtell is a baseball star also. We know that baseball players make the best quarterbacks. Russell Wilson.
Wasn't he also a basketball player?
Maybe. Kyler Murray with the Arizona Cardinals. Great baseball players. Shows a lot of that shortstop technique as he comes out and throws the ball on the run. 14-0, 8:55 left in the half. There you see the Bel Air cheerleaders booming the ball down. That's going to go into the end zone and out. The ball will come out to the 20-yard line. But Bob, now the Cougars have to show some life here offensively, or else they could just find themselves ground out of this ball game.
Well, they've got to move the football now, and they've got to get down and score and take. They need a drive here. There's 8:55 left in the second quarter, and they don't want to give Bel Air the football again with 4 or 5 minutes left in the half, because it might be 21-0 then. So they need to really drive the ball down and put the ball in the end zone and take as much of that time off that clock as they can.
Putting the ball in play at the 20-yard line, Justin Wiggin.
But I mean, they know that. And it's not like they're not trying.
Behind Wigan. Wigan back to throw. Bing rush, gets it off. Incomplete. Looking for the tight end on the near side. Overshoots him, Neil Gill.
Yeah, he had two people coming, one at about the 26-yard line at tight end, and then he had his wide receiver at about the 38-yard line, and the ball kind of went in between both of them.
Wigan 6 touchdown passes, but Bobby has 9 interceptions on the year, so certainly that's something if you're Coach Jimmy Grant, you'd like to see cleaned up.
Yeah.
9 interceptions in 5 games.
Yeah, his completion percentage has been pretty decent, actually. But I didn't.
Rolling left, going to run the ball, still on his feet, struggling for yardage near the 30-yard line. That's close to a first down.
It is.
What a nice run by Wigan. He refused to go down.
It is. He's about a yard short, maybe.
Yeah, a third down and a short yard.
No, they gave him to the 30.
Yeah.
So
they gave him to the 30.
Yeah, so it's first down.
Wow. That ball, the nose of the ball just on the 30-yard line.
I mean,
big first down.
Their whole thing has to be keep the clock running and score when time runs out.
That was a critical run. Facing a third down would have been a tough situation. First and 10, the ball at the 30. Kevin Roberts to the near side. High backfield.
Quarterback sneak.
That didn't fool anyone.
No.
Now they're saying it wasn't a first down? No. They had marked a...
It is a first down.
It was a first down
play, yeah.
It was. I'm listening to a spectator who said he didn't get the first down.
What can I tell you?
Second down to pick up a 1.
Oh.
7 minutes 45. Clock stopped. I'm not sure exactly why. Now it's running again.
Well, one team wants it to run and one team doesn't.
Noah Richard, the up back. Breaking
he broke the plane. Got his head right over the plane, right through it.
Coming up to the line of scrimmage and going just a bit too far. That's going to cost him 5 yards. We've seen that play a couple of times where they've come up to the line of scrimmage and faked the blitz.
Well, you can do that, but you can't get into the neutral zone doing it.
Looks like that's Cole Meyer, number 25.
It was definitely number 25.
Where's it, 23?
No, it was 25.
Caden Marcy, the safety. Yeah, it's 25. It's Cole Meyer, the middle linebacker. There he goes again. Pitch back to Richard. Richard cuts it back inside. He's going to be hit on the outside.
You have to sustain that block.
And taken down. Stanford Ricketts on the tackle.
Now we're about 2 yards away. It's about 3rd and 2 here. Ball's on the almost 39, and the first down just looks like it's just right on the 40 or just a little bit past it.
Well, it's a nice play by Ricketts. He held the corner, refused to give it up, and made the arm tackle and held on.
The end had him blocked and then stopped blocking him.
He shouldn't do that, Bob. High backfield behind Wigan.
You sustain that block. That's another. That's
looks
a
like
jump.
somebody jumped too soon. That's going to cost Fallston 5 yards.
Yeah.
There you see the laundry on the field.
Yeah, you can't be shooting yourself in the foot right now.
Joe McKeever is the referee. A little FaceTime for Joe. John Blaha Sr., the umpire. Tyron Hansborough.
Is it McKeever or McIver?
It's McKeever, yeah. K-E-E-V-E-R.
Oh, okay.
Tyrone Hansborough is the linesman. Line judge is William Connolly, and Eugene Vickers Sr. is the back judge. Now a 3rd down and about 6. Get past the 40-yard line. Back to throw Wigan. Lofts the ball to the left side. It's going to be intercepted at the 40-yard line. Down the 40-yard line and free. Going out of bounds. It looks like it was maybe 23 or 25. Cole Meyer.
The Bobcat first down.
Bob, I couldn't see the number you gave me. 25?
It was 23. It's Caden Morris.
Caden Morris, okay.
Yep.
the safety. There he is, Caden Morris coming off the field. You'll see the replay here. Al Morris playing almost like a center fielder.
Yeah, ball hung up in the air a little bit and gave him time to get right there and step in front, both of them.
Caden is the safety, comes over and double teams and makes the interception. That is a backbreaker as Bel Air will have the ball on the 24-yard line. Flag goes down.
Yeah.
Looks like Powell with the run. It's going to be against Bel Air. Powell, number
64.
The tackle.
Well, we had two people. We had 64 and 50. We have Bogish and number 54.
54 for Fallston. That is Parker Cochran, number 54. Backfield in motion. That's going to cost the Bobcats 5.
Yeah, one of the things that Coach Grant is trying to do for Fallston, which is good, is that he's playing a few more people in the defensive line, trying to keep those kids as fresh as he can.
Shotgun formation. Purtell turns, gives to Reeves. No, keeps the ball. And that's a great fake by Purtell. He could go, and he does. From the 25-yard line, Purtell untouched after a great fake.
Well, there was either a great block or a great hold. I'm not sure which. by the Bel Air wide receiver.
You'll get a chance to see here.
I'm saying it was a block.
He got away with it, therefore it's a block.
But we'll take a look at it. I'm not sure. It was very, very close. Right here. You see him get thrown down. See the guy, you couldn't see it there.
So Bob, if they don't call a penalty, then it's a good block.
It's absolutely a good block.
Ashman with the attempted extra point.
Nice
this time
kick.
He splits the uprights. And so it is now 21-0 as the Bobcats converting that intercepted pass into a two-play, 24-yard drive for the touchdown. Purtell on a nice run of 19 yards around that side.
One of the differences, Don, that has happened in this first half is that Fallston's getting to the point where they feel like they have to throw the ball out of necessity. Where when Bel Air has been throwing the football, it's out of the design play where we've run the football. They have to be concerned about our run. And so now we sneak an out pass in 8, 10, 12, 14 yards with the quarterback rolling to either side under control and being able to do that. And
been really impressed with Purtell, the way he throws the ball on a line.
He does.
Wiggins' throws have been more like high floaters. The ball's in play as Richard has it at the goal line. He's going to be hit and held at the 15-yard line. Looked like 24. Yeah, that's Ryan Herrick.
Haricharan, yeah.
Haricharan.
Nice.
Thank you, Mr. Skelton, there with the announcement. Haricharan, number 24. So with 5:32 left here in the first half of play, the Bel Air Bobcats in control. They've scored 3 touchdowns. Of course, obviously, Fallston without scoring 2 touchdowns here in the second period.
Well, here's your dilemma again if you're Coach Grant. Do you run the football and try to get the ball down the field, or do you start throwing the football because you're behind 21-0?
And starting in very bad field position at the 15-yard line. Wiggin gives it off to Richard. You can just choose a tackler there.
It's just
a whole bunch of them. Josh Galinas, number 90, on the tackle. Gain of maybe 1.
I mean, they have Justin O'Bannon, Josh Galinas, Thomas Martino, Cody Rush, Jacob Powell, Matt Conroy, Jacob Grew, Gavin Yetter, Tristan Smith, Corey Camoni, Caden Morris, and the substitutes that they've played in there.
And they all got partial tackle credit on that one.
They all did, yes.
So we go down to 2nd down and 9. Clock running at 5 minutes left in the half.
I see Mason Bosley in there right now for Bel Air.
Wigan throws it on the line. Nice throw, good catch.
Nice play.
Nick Curry,
Nice pass.
right on the numbers at the 22 as Curry makes the catch. Curry has 10 catches coming in for 185 yards. Smith on the tackle. It's now going to be a 3rd down and
Four.
about, yeah, a short 4, maybe a long 3.
He Wigan was really under control in that play, and receiver ran a nice pattern.
Clock running at 4:27. I thought he had been knocked out of bounds, but they said he was taken down in play. Bob, you said ideally for Fallston, he'd like to go in and score with no time on the clock and cut the halftime lead down to 2 scores rather than 3.
Yeah, because Bel Air gets the football when we come back out.
Yeah.
After, to start the 3rd quarter.
Wigan
Oh, there he is.
open, good catch,
There he is.
and a great tackle there at the 40-yard line.
He was
Running free down the middle. Is that number 16? That's Kevin
16.
Roberts.
Yep, 16, Kevin Roberts. I mean, he was running free right across the middle, and when Wigan saw him, boom, he hit him, and nice gain.
Wigan now throwing the ball twice in a row on a nice high plane. There's a pass to the far side and a nice tackle coming up. Is it Kwamini? I believe it is Corey Kwamini, number 39.
Yes.
Tackling Curry, number 12.
That's a gain of 3, so, I mean, it's 2nd and 7 now, and at least you got something out of the play, positive.
I like how Wigan's throwing the ball on the line now. He was lofting the ball earlier. Now he's throwing the ball just on the line.
He was trying to throw the ball 40 yards down the field, and now he's throwing the ball within 15 yards, and he's hitting guys in stride now. And
Curry and Roberts here to the near side.
But that's
rolling. O'Bannon on the chase. Wigan throwing the ball, lofting it. He's got a man. That could be pass interference and will be. Looked like 80 Neil Gill, the defensive back, didn't see the ball and was trying to make a play. Ended up running into Neil Gill, and that will be pass interference. Unlike the pros, Bob, they don't get a spot foul. It'll be a 10-yard penalty.
Is it 10 or 15?
I believe it's 10.
10, yeah. The Fallston coaching staff has really made a nice decision on this drive now. They've had Wigan throwing the football in preferential spots for him where he can see the thing and he can get rid of the ball quickly. And even that pass, after he had thrown the ball 3 or 4 nice times with nice, easy passes, give him some confidence.
Difficult pass throwing back across
the
grain.
I mean, that ball, legitimately, that ball could have been intercepted if the kid stopped and Bel Air could stop and turn around.
Right.
So
one back behind
you really
Wigan.
have to watch that.
He gets the ball. That's Richard. Hit at the line of scrimmage and knocked back, and it's going to be taken off his feet. Stanford Ricketts, along with 12, Matt Conroy. That's the young man we were talking about, the sophomore.
Conroy had a nice hit on him because he just squared him up.
Craig Reddish reminded me, he's a wrestler. Craig Reddish, the Bel Air wrestling coach, who, he kind of thinks wrestling is it.
So many great players were wrestlers.
They were. If you're not a wrestler, okay, fine.
Ray Lewis.
There you go.
Florida State champion as a wrestler.
Yeah. The two sports have a lot in common. Gain of about maybe a half yard.
Great sport.
It is that. Nice fake.
There he is.
Wigan falls down, does the receiver.
That was.
Looks like the receiver, Kevin Roberts, just simply lost his footing.
Yeah.
Wigan on a great fake. The middle linebacker who had shot the gap went after the ball carrier. Wigan was free to make the pass. Made a nice pass, but unfortunately for him, the receiver had fallen down.
That was interesting. I don't know whether he was pushed or he just fell, but he got to the ground. And
clock stopped at 2:25. 21-0 as you see. The Bobcats had 1 touchdown in the first period, 2 in the second period. Timeout on the field. Bob, I'm impressed with the Bobcats. Obviously, the last 2 weeks that they lost the games, felt they should have beaten Seamelton Wright and really felt they should have beaten Aberdeen, losing 12-7. This high-powered offense, it's hard to believe that they could be held to 7 points. And from their perspective, they felt it was like their mistakes, fumbling the ball on the 2,
You know, when you play football games, you only get one shot.
Yeah.
And you have to execute, and you have to do the right things to win. And if you're the one turning the football over, or if you're the one making unforced errors on yourself, you either have to overcome them or you end up getting beat, whether you think you should win or not.
Yeah, it's the final score on the scoreboard.
It's the final score, and you know, if you had opportunities and you didn't take advantage of those opportunities.
And Bob, the Bobcats have Hartford Tech as we come into this game. Of course, we don't know what Hartford Tech is doing tonight, but they are 5-0 undefeated coming into this week. We had the Cobras against Aberdeen first game of the year, and they defeated Aberdeen and looked very, very impressive.
Yeah.
So it'll be homecoming week for the Bobcats next week. So they would like to go in with a 3-3 record to be able to play the undefeated Hartford Tech Cobras, if indeed Hartford Tech ends up being undefeated after this week.
Now, who are they playing tonight?
Not sure. I don't have their schedule in front of me. Waiting for the takeaway. Wiegand now rolling.
He's running this one.
Now he's going to throw it. And he has a man complete. Great. That's Roberts with the catch.
And he got out of bounds, so that clock should stop.
Great play by Wiegand. Bob, I'm like you. It looked for all the world like he was going to pull it down
and
run.
He stopped and threw it. Nice play.
Right on the money. So Wiegand, who had trouble lofting the ball, as you said, throwing it long distance, now is taking that little short pass and being very successful.
Well, Bel Air secondary's backing up on him, and they're giving him that middle zone, and he's hitting people in it.
2:06.
And they're moving the football, and
ball resting at about the 33-yard line.
And they're also
the 23-yard line.
And they're also taking time off the clock, which they need to do.
2:06 left in the half. One back is Richard behind Wiegand. Wiegand looking, now he's going to run. Tucks it away. Dives down near the 10 at the 11-yard line. That could be close to another first down.
It's very close to a first down.
I'm impressed with Wiegand, not only his throwing, but his ability to run. 129 yards rushing coming in on the season.
Oh, he has presence as a quarterback. I mean, he sees the field, and, you know, for the most part, except for those long throws that he gets up in the air a little bit.
Clock running at 1:47. Ball at the 13-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10. At some point, Fallston's going to have to show a little urgency here, Bob, with that clock running.
Not really. They're only 12 yards away. They can throw a pass. They can throw the ball out of bounds. A lot of ways. I can't remember how many timeouts that they've used.
I think one. Here's the roll.
There's no
Wiegand
roll running.
He's diving for the end zone. Is he in?
Touchdown.
Official says he is in. Forget that clock. We don't need a whole lot of time from the 13-yard line. A 13-yard run by Justin Wiegand for the touchdown. So at 1:17, Fallston is on the board. Here's the replay.
He gets a very nice block here. Coming right around the corner. Boom.
And then he just lowers his head here, goes
and
around one tackle
that
and goes
bounced
right
into
in.
the end zone.
Robertson to attempt the extra point. He's been 11 for 14 on the year. Kick is up, and the kick is
good.
21-7. So Wiegand on the 13-yard run for the touchdown, and then the conversion by Robertson. Bob, we got a ball game. That is a big drive coming here late in this first half. 1:17 left. If they can stop the Bobcats. Now, like you said, Bel Air will get the ball in the second half, but 21-7 is a lot better at halftime than 21-0. Sounds obvious, but you know, in terms of your psyche going into halftime.
Well, what's really nice about that is that the Fallston coaching staff made a decision where they wanted to throw the football on that drive, and Wiegand, who's very capable of carrying that out, did. And they took a lot of time off the clock, and then they punched the football into the end zone, and you know, that took away an opportunity for Bel Air to get another score. And now it's given the Fallston kids some confidence, and now they can go into the locker room positive at the halftime. And the Fallston coaches deserve a little pat on the back to get them going. But the one thing, even last year with Fallston, these kids play for Jimmy Grant, for
Yeah,
Coach Grant.
yeah.
They play for him. And
Bob, that was an 85-yard drive. That's the longest drive, of course, of Fallston, their deepest offensive field possession they've had. Ball bouncing up, fielded by Bel Air. The Bobcats have a chance, breaking it to the 50-yard line. It's number 22, and that's Mason Bosley. He comes up and fields the ball on the bounce and gets almost through that wall, almost for the touchdown.
you know, the first thing for Fallston, what they had to do was get their numbers up on our football team, which they did this year. Now next year they've got to get more talents and still more numbers, but it's getting better.
Yeah.
You know, every year.
They're up to 70 players in the program now, both varsity and JV. They were down in the low 50s and in the 40s at one point. Purtell being rushed, runs. He's going to keep the ball and go. No, he's not going to go out of bounds, and now he does. I am impressed with this young man. He's not a big guy, but he is smart.
Quarterback.
Picks up good yardage and saves the time at 1:03. So just like that, Fallston looked like they had taken the momentum. Bel Air gets it right back with that short run back, or that long run back on the short kick. Ball at the 32-yard line.
It's a shame your other partner, Pat Pollard's not up here with you. We see a little of himself in that quarterback, in the Bel Air quarterback.
Say hello to Pat. He just had a hip replacement this week, so
good luck, Pat.
We are rooting for him. Purtell rolling, throwing, on the move. It's going to be intercepted at the goal line. Boy, just what you didn't want to have happen. It looks like it might be Roberts. I don't want to hazard a guess just yet. Yep, it's
16.
number 16. That's Roberts.
Yep, Kevin Roberts.
Here's a replay. You'll see Kevin Roberts coming up, timing it perfectly.
Yeah, that's the first bad pass I've.
Good call, Bob. We've been praising Purtell, always great decision making. This time
he should have just kept running.
He'd like to have this one back.
Yeah, I mean, he could have ran for 30 yards before they touched him.
46 seconds left. That's a big, big play, as you see. Kevin Roberts on the interception. Now, if you're Fallston, you've got the ball on the 27-yard line. 46 seconds left.
Well, he can roll. He can use one of those rollout passes that he used earlier and hit his wide receiver coming and get him out of bounds here on either side.
Wigan back to throw. Down the middle. Has his man. That's Grew.
And the clock stops because it's a first down. Fallston just has to, and they hurried up there to be there.
Clock stops while they set the down marker. Yep. 41 seconds. Roberts trying to get off the field.
That took them 5 seconds.
35 seconds, and now they clock the ball. Yeah, Roberts was way over here. He couldn't come to the near side. You're not allowed to come to the opposing side.
First of all, he's going to spike the football. You don't need to send a substitute in. Just spike the football and then substitute.
They had 45 seconds. Now they've got 33. So the two plays, that play, again, if you look back as a coaching staff and as a team, that's one that you'd rather not have that happen.
Yeah, no.
So now with 33 seconds, Wigan has the arm. You just don't want to make a big mistake here, Bob.
Well, 6 seconds you can throw a 12, 14-yard out pass and get out of bounds.
Wigan rolling, looking, throwing. Out of bounds he goes, and he's hit out of bounds, and the call will be made. Catch made by Neil Gill.
That's a shame.
Yeah. I think we said Jacob Grew made that catch a moment ago. It was Neil Gill, number 80. As Gill makes the catch, and that's going to cost him 15 yards.
Yeah.
So now 27 seconds left in this first half. Boy, what a tremendous turnaround this would be, Bob, if Fallston can go in and get a score.
Yeah, it's
You saw Kevin Roberts on the extra point kick the ball a good distance, so
he did.
You know, if he can get down to about the 20, they might be able to put 3 points on the board.
Well, the ball's at the 32 right now, so 27 seconds. I understand when you get a first down, the clock stops. So you've got about 5 seconds to get to the line of scrimmage and be ready to go when the official blows the to start the clock.
Wigan looking, rolling, throwing, on the move. He's got a man. Caught down at about the 5-yard line, the back shoulder catch.
Now the clock stopped, like I said, for the first down. Now you've got 18 seconds and you're inside the 10-yard line.
I think that's Roberts who made that catch. I'm trying to see a number. Don't want to venture a guess at, we'll just say now the timeout on the field.
Bel Air is trying to get themselves under control right now.
15 seconds left in this first half. What a drive by the Fallston
What a
Cougars.
turnaround, huh? Since the 7-minute mark when Fallston got the ball and to drive to score their first touchdown.
On that far side, I really couldn't see who made that catch. It was a brilliant catch. He knew where the ball was, Bob. The defender
absolutely.
did not.
No.
He came back and made that catch.
No, the defender.
And give Wigan credit. He put it up there. He said that's the only
he gave
chance
him a
we
chance
have.
Yep.
Impressed with Fallston.
They're getting better and better, and eventually the program's going to get back to where it was, and they're going to start getting above 500, and they're going to start beating people.
And of course, if you're Justin Wigan, you're a senior, so this is it for you.
Yes.
And you'd love to be able to make something out of your season. You come in at 1-4. But how great it would be to be down 21-0 to the Bobcats and be able to come back and beat them on their field.
Well, you don't want to.
Presuming a lot here, but coming back into the ball game. I mean, you're down 21-0.
Right. I mean, give them the credit where it's due. I mean, the last 7 minutes of this football game, they've really done a great job.
15 seconds left in this half. Wigan goes in untouched.
That's a great call.
Now,
see, if I would have said it out loud, because that's what I was thinking. You spread everybody, and everybody thinks it's going to be, and you go over straight up the middle, and there it is.
Wow. Now, again, think about it that here's a replay. You'll see how this, it's almost like the Red Sea parting here as he came in.
Well, nobody expects on a play like that after you've come so far with the time.
You'll see there's nobody over the center, and he just simply walks in.
Oh, well, they're looking. They're not looking at the quarterback. They're looking for running backs, and he just slips.
Now, do you think that was an automatic call by Wigan when he saw that there was nobody there? He just tapped the
No,
center?
I think that was a coach's call to run the play.
21-13 with 12 seconds left. Wow. Again, if you go back, Bel Air's going in for a touchdown. They're going to make it 28-7.
Yes.
Interception at the goal line by Kevin Roberts brings it back out. And you've only got, how much do they have, 55 seconds?
Yes.
And they are able to go down some 70 yards. That drive started at the 27-yard line. So
it looked like it's so easy, this past drive, that you wonder how come they haven't been doing it all game. But it's not that easy.
No, it is not.
And
now, if you're Bel Air, you look at it the other way. You say, how in the world could we allow this to happen?
Yeah.
Roberts in to apparently attempt the extra point. Wigan is putting it down. He does. The kick is up, and that kick is
looks good.
21-14, so Fallston is back within one score.
It's a football game.
It is.
This is an absolute football game at this point. Now, Bel Air's got to go into the locker room, and Coach Siegel's got to get them up and has to get them playing. Coach Grant's going to go into that locker room, and they're going to be, his players are going to be pumped up. They're going to be excited. But he's also going to tell them, hey, first half's over. When we step back out for the third quarter, we want to continue that momentum and get after them and take it to them and keep it up. Young
fans very excited here. The air guitar. Bob, I'm pretty good at an air guitar. Just don't put a guitar in my hands because then it'll be... it's great. Friday Night Lights, there's nothing like high school football.
I play the air guitar like I sing, so you don't want me to do either one of them.
Oh, goodness.
But I can dance. At least I used to be able to.
I've heard that about you.
Let me rephrase that. At my age, I don't do that anymore
either. In your day, you were quite the rug cutter, as we used to say down south. Well, now with 12 seconds left, you would not expect an onside kick. If you're the Bel Air Bobcats, so you have time to catch it and run it back. If
Well, you could do a lot of things, maybe.
Itself. Line drive kick. It's going to go.
Well, there's no time off the clock now. Now the ball will be put at what, the 40-yard line?
Yeah.
Is that what it is in high school? And
I believe it's the 40. It may be the 35. We'll let the officials figure that out.
I'm not sure if it's the
yeah. Procedure call is the penalty.
35. Yep.
Put it at the 35-yard line.
35.
With 12 seconds left, if you're Pertell, the Bel Air quarterback, are you going to be satisfied?
You're going to take a knee right now.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to do. Because you sure don't want to make a mistake and have them take it down in 12 seconds and tie the game.
Well, this game was 21-0 at 5:36 left in the half. Then 21-7 and now 21-14, and that's what they do. Bel Air Bobcats, as well as they played this first half, they can't be happy with what's happened in the last 5 minutes and 35 seconds.
No, they have to be a little shook right now, and they need to gather themselves at halftime. That's, it's a coaching staff job now to get them together, and it's the captain's job to get among the players and encourage their teammates and pump them up and get them to calm down.
And the good thing, if you're Bel Air, you do get the ball.
Right. Well, this is what you say. This is what you say if you're Bel Air. Look, we had a terrible 5 minutes and we're still up by 7.
Yeah.
We get the football coming out here. If we just run it down our throat and score, it's 28-14, and now we're back up by 2 touchdowns, and we've taken the momentum away.
Well, if you've enjoyed the first half, it's been an exciting first half. Don't go away. We'll be back with the second half in just a moment.
2019 Bel Air High School Bobcat Marching Band. The band is under the direction of drum majors Sidney Hook, Gracie.
We're back with you at Bel Air High School. Don Morris and Bob McCone. Bob, you talk about a tale of 2 games. For the first 17 minutes of the game, it was all Bel Air. They had it their way, and then all of a sudden, in the last, after the Bel Air scored with 5 minutes and 35 seconds left, then Fallston scores twice in that last period of time, going in the first drive 88 yards, and the second drive 73 yards. Amazing! What a turnaround it was.
Well, the first drive, they took a lot of time off the clock, which they needed to do. And the second drive, when they only had 55 seconds to go, 73 yards, they scored with 12 seconds left. So they had to be excited going in at the half.
And Bob, in between that interception that occurred at the goal line by Fallston, when Bel Air appeared to be going in for their 4th touchdown. I mean, you talk about a key play of the game. That interception on the goal line not only stopped Bel Air, but then Fallston took the ball and went all the way down to score to make it a 1-score game at half.
Yeah, and it was really a shame because from Bel Air's standpoint, because the Bel Air quarterback, Pertell was just playing outstanding to that point, and it's really the one bad play that he made in the first half, and all he had to do was tuck the ball and run. He was going to run 30-35 yards. There wasn't anybody over there.
Yeah.
But you see the guy open, and you have the confidence in yourself, and you make the play, and he'd love to have it back.
And on the other hand, Justin Wiegand, who had, truthfully not a great first half until that last 5 minutes. He had thrown the ball up for grabs a couple of times. He started throwing the ball on the line, started running the ball. He really showed why he's a senior leader in this Fallston team.
Absolutely. I mean, and I give the coaching staff a lot of credit for that, because they started to take away some of the passes that he was having trouble throwing and running some other stuff for him that was in his wheelhouse.
Bob, that's impressive, by the way, this young fan. How do you do that? How does that electric on your head? I'm not sure about how that works.
Yeah, well,
very impressive.
Yes. So, anyway, that's, the coaching staff from Fallston did a great job getting Wigan back again under control and, with some throws, giving him confidence with some throws he can make.
And then, Bob, we talked about halftime. I'll put you in the shoes of Bel Air first. What do you say if you're Eric Siegel to your team?
Well, I tell my team, look, we're still up 21-14, and we're getting a football when we come back here. This whole game, the momentum, everything changes as soon as we drive down the field and make it 28-14 from a positive standpoint.
And if you're Fallston?
At Fallston, I say, look, guys, 8 minutes ago we were down 21-0, and now it's 21-14. And, I understand Bel Air gets the football, but once we stop them when we go out there and they have to punt to us, Now we take the ball back down their throat. It's a tie football game. Now let's see how they feel.
So the key here, and what I'm hearing you saying is, if Fallston can stop Bel Air, and make them punt, then the momentum shifts, greatly to Fallston. You've already got 14 straight points. You've stopped Bel Air, and now you get the ball back.
Well, first of all, Fallston has the momentum right now.
Yeah.
The only thing that stopped the momentum is halftime.
Yeah, there you go.
Now the situation is, did it give Bel Air enough of a rest to turn the thing around again because they have the football? So now Fallston has to stop that to gain, to continue that momentum and really put the pressure on Bel Air.
Well, what we have is a football game. At 21-0, we had a rout. At 21-14, we have a football game here as we start the second half. 24 minutes of action left. Hope you've enjoyed this first half, and here we go. The second half kickoff to the Bel Air Bobcats. They'll field it at the 20-yard line, and reverse field. Looked like he was hemmed in at one point. He's free down that left sideline, and finally out of bounds at the 50-yard line.
Wow.
A nice move. Yeah, that's number 3, Justin Dill, who it looked like for all the world he was trapped on a very short run back, but he got all the way up to the 50-yard line.
Now 44, on their own 44.
Yeah, wow. That was a tremendous break for the Bel Air Bobcats, able to avoid that tackle and then go down and pick up good yardage. 44-yard line, they'll put the ball in play with the Bobcats. Brendan Purtell, the quarterback, Jalen Reeves and Tristan Smith in backfield.
Now, here comes Jalen. At this point, you want to settle this down, so here comes Jalen.
Number 7. Nope, Purtell has the ball, avoids the tackler, and he's going to be hit and taken down across the 50-yard line. Colin Johnson in with the tackle, but a good gain on first down.
Yeah, they had a couple shots there to hit him and knock him back, and they ended up throwing him forward.
Second down and 2 yards to go. What a run there by Brendan Purtell. And like you, Bob, I expected that handoff to go to Reeves.
Yeah, I did
7.
too. So
full house backfield. Purtell. There goes the ball to Reeves off the left side. He's got the first down. And a little bit more down to the 41-yard line. 2-play drive started at the 44. Now it's inside Fallston territory. Early returns here in the second half say that Bel Air, I don't want to say that Eric Siegel blistered the walls at halftime, but he certainly gave them an encouragement. That big run back, Bob, made a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, you start on your own 44. Doesn't take much before you're in the other team's territory. But, they still have 42 yards to go and 41 yards to go. And Fallston has his opportunity to still do its job. And Bel Air, it's up to them to really take it.
Purtell in the shotgun. In motion is Smith coming to the near side. Being rushed, throws, has his man. Oh, that's looking for the lane before you catch the ball.
He did. He turned his head to look down to see what he could do with it and didn't catch it.
Puts his head down and says, look the ball in, look the ball in. Second down.
You got to stick the ball in your hands before you go anywhere.
Second down and 10, the ball.
But he's a sophomore. Once again, that's a learning moment.
Yeah. At the 42-yard line. We see pros do that, Bob, all the time. Where instead of looking the ball in, you just assume you're going to catch it. High backfield, actually split backfield.
Should be 2nd and 10, is that what I'm?
It is 2nd and 10,
They just changed it.
Hand off to Reeves on the crossbuck. Oh, no, that's Tristan Smith.
Yes.
Smith is going to gain good yardage down to about the 32-yard line, close to the first down.
Every time they run that misdirection, they get a nice gain. Every time.
It gives the linemen such great angles for their blocks, Bob. There's linemen Andrew Yingling, Justin O'Bannon, Noel Tyler Sims, Alexander Villegas, and Thomas Martino. They dominated in those first period and a half.
25 minutes.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, Fallston came back and just made a game of it.
24 minutes it was. And then the last 6 minutes, completely different.
Coming up on the 10-minute mark here on the third period, as you see the Bobcat Stadium scoreboard. First down and 10. Flag goes down, and that must be a motion, I would think. Normally that's what you see. Linesman Tyrone Hansborough.
against Bel Air. It's offside Bel Air. So
Neutral zone infraction and Bel Air.
That's the 5-yard penalty. And again, those are little nickel and dime penalties that tend to disrupt the drive once you get it started.
So now it's 1st and 15.
Dean Dugan, number 19, in the ball game. Brendan Pertell, very impressive young man, just a junior. Quarterback, number 11.
I was talking to Dave Seski, former Fallston coach, before the game.
That's Smith with the ball around that left side. Good block by O'Bannon. Springs him for good yardage down inside the 30 to about the 25. Yeah, Bob, you were talking
Dave
to
told me to pay attention to the Bel Air quarterback. He said he is surprisingly good.
Quick.
And yep.
Deceptively quick. Again,
and he told me he throws the ball really well off the sprint outs.
Yeah.
And that is what you were talking about pretty much in the first half.
Again, I was joking about being a baseball player, but you're used to throwing the ball on the run as a shortstop in baseball. It's a technique. There's Reeves. Reeves is running. He could go. Reeves will go into the end zone at 9:26. A big run of 32 yards by Jalen Reeves. And just like that, the Bel Air Bobcats have reasserted their will.
Now the momentum now has shifted back to the Bobcats, and that was what Coach Siegel was talking about, to come out second half and, you know, we get the ball first, we go down and take it down and score. It's a
watch the patience, Bob, that Reeves runs with. That he waits until the block forms and then takes off. Shakes one tackler and he's gone. While you're away, the extra point is up and good. Ashman with the extra point.
Good.
And like that, the Bobcats are now up by 28-14. So, Bob, now the momentum switches back to Bel Air.
Now obviously Fallston now has to continue the offense they showed in the last 6 minutes of the second half, because now it's a must for them. You know, their defense couldn't hold Bel Air on the first possession. Bel Air took it all the way down and scored in
6 plays, 56 yards.
And now you know the defense, the offense is saying to the defense right now, hey guys, you know, we took it down, did our job, now do your job.
Yeah. Jalen Reeves with those final 32 yards. Ashman with a nice long kick. Fielded at about the 5-yard line.
Oops, wrong way.
Hit and taken back. Good job by the Bobcats, and again showing the fire.
That kickoff is fielded by number 22, Brandon Clavin.
Clavin with the return. Brandon Clavin took it at about the maybe 3-yard line, brought it back. Looks like about the 18 when they put it down. So Fallston will start deep in their own territory, down by 2 touchdowns now.
Now you give Bel Air credit for that first series. I mean, they did what they needed to do and put themselves up by 14 again and took away the momentum, and now Fallston has to answer.
Justin Wiegand, the quarterback, the senior quarterback, led the Cougars back in that first half. Let's see what he can do now. With the ball, rolling, throwing, has a man, complete, short gain.
It's a gain of about 5.
You see a number on who looks like is tight end on that far side.
That pass is complete to 28, Cameron Burns. On the tackle, number 15, Jacob Powell.
Yeah, gain of about, yeah, Bob, you're right, about 5 yards on first down.
Maybe 4.5, but
close enough.
Close enough. For my eyes, it's
high backfield behind Wiegand. Uh-oh, somebody jumps for Fallston. Fallston is pointing at Bel Air, and Bel Air is pointing at Fallston.
Well, the Bel Air kid moved, but he was still on his side of the line, so I think it's going to be against Fallston.
Looks like the Cougars officials are conferring.
But I've been known to be wrong about official calls.
Well, the officials are Let's see now. Joe McKeever's going to come over and tell us what it was. Yep, it's going to be a false start against Fallston. That will cost them 5 yards. So the 5 they picked up on that first down pass, they just lost.
Yeah, but they didn't lose the down, so it's still second down.
Second down and 10. The ball at the 18. They've got to get out to the 28 for the first down. 8 minutes and 28 seconds and counting left here in the third period. Fallston down by 2 scores. Roberts here to the near side. Wigan to Richard. Got a good block. He's got a big hole up across the 30. I think that's a first down.
If it's past the 33, it is.
Noah Richard with a great run. Well, he saw the hole, Bob, and he just hit it.
He did.
Give credit to Justin Kennedy, Eric Beinecker, Brandon Curry, Brady Mills, and Seth Strang across that front line. Here comes Roberts. Nice cut back by Roberts. Runs over his own blocker. Now he's going to be hemmed in and about 5 of those blue shirts taking down, but not till he gets across the 40-yard line.
No, it was a very nice run. And at the end of the play, I was impressed by the pursuit of the Bel Air Football Club, but by that time, it was a 5-yard gain still.
We talked about coaches' decisions to up-tempo by Fallston. That was a good move by them.
Yeah, they're, what is it? It's about 2nd and 2 now, 2nd and 3?
Yeah, 2nd and 2. A short 2, as a matter of fact. High backfield behind Wigan. Give to Richard. Richard cuts it outside. He's got the first down and more up near the 50-yard line.
He's running hard right now.
Well, he is.
He is running hard.
I'm impressed when he sees the hole. He's not that slow runner which lets the block develop. He just hits that hole and goes, Bob.
Well, you know, let's give credit to the Fallston offensive line. They've been misaligned for a while about their blocking, and they're doing an excellent job right now.
Brady Mills and Seth Strang on that far side.
Yeah.
Clock running at 6 minutes and 50 seconds in the third period. 4-play drive started back at the 18-yard line. They're up near the 50. Roberts again. Cuts it back inside. Got another hole. Nice tackle there made by Gavin Yetter. But not until he gets into the backfield.
It's a another 7-yard gain.
5-play drive. Second down about, gosh, they're going to give him 8 yards on it.
Nick O'Neill, number 41, really opened that hole up.
The up back.
He's playing end right now.
Yeah. To give, no, it's kept by Wigan. What a fake. Wigan running out of bounds near the 30-yard line. Boy, he did a great fake. He had the cameraman and me faked out. I thought that ball had been given right up the middle. Sorry, cameraman, you were right on it. It was me that got faked out.
Hey, I'm telling you now, you know, Fallston is doing a very, very good job in answering that first drive of Bel Air now.
Absolutely, Bob. 6:04 left. The clock stopped.
And they still have 32 yards to go here, but they're moving the football. They're blocking up front well right now.
Wigan handoff to the deep back.
Yeah, and that was a straight dive play, a straight wham play, and
now that could draw a penalty. They did knock him down, but whistle was not blown. It was Brandon Claben. That's the kind of thing an official, Bob, if he wants to, could throw the flag. Whistle had blown.
Yes.
Gain of about 2 on first down.
Yes.
7-play drive.
See, I never know what the officials are going to do with that, so I just sit here and watch and see what they come up with.
High backfield. Wigan keeping the ball. He saw that hole over there, and he cut off the right guard and picked up about 6 yards.
Yeah, it's like 3rd and 2 now. Ball's
Big
on
third
the 31.
down.
Yeah.
And Bob, again, this looks like
29. 24.
24-yard line.
Yeah.
It looks like this would be 4-down territory. So
Absolutely. For them
you
it
try
is.
to pick it up here, but if you don't get it, you've got the 4th down to again try it.
You want to be careful right now that you don't want to do anything really wide or give the defense a chance to get into your backfield and stop you with a loss.
Cameron Burns,
You really want to take something at them and try to get these 2 yards.
Clavin, the deep back. Pitch out, Clavin looking for a block. Going wide, and he's going to be hemmed in and taken out of bounds. So, Bob, just what you said, he picked up nothing on that play.
Yeah, well, what I was saying was I didn't want him to get tackled, 3-4 yards in the backfield and make it much more difficult play.
But you would have thought a off-tackle play perhaps would have been more in keeping. He tried to go wide. The Bel Air Bobcats simply
I mean, when they were running Richard off tackle and off the ends, they were gaining yards, and I think I would have run something along that line maybe. But
big down here, 4th down. Richard comes back in. Clavin is out.
So do you think Wigan's going to keep this ball?
I think Wigan is doing an option. I think this is an RPO coming up. Big play of the ball game right now. Hands it off to Richard. Richard is going to be hit and held. And the Bobcats have stiffened and taken over. What a job of the Bel Air Bobcats.
Yeah.
Looked like Richard and the tackle Stanford Ricketts, but the first hit looked like it was done by number 29. I don't have a 29, maybe it's 25, Cole Meyer. So the Bobcats will take over on down. The 10-play drive stalls at the 29, 24-yard line.
So now it's time for Fallston. Fallston has to get their stop now. I mean, they didn't the last time, and they really moved the ball offensively down until they got down here to the 24 and
full house backfield.
Second back. Looks like Smith.
Smith, yeah, spinning. Smith, good yardage. He's not a big guy, but he doesn't go down easily.
No, he does a lot of spinning, and sometimes that's dangerous. Sometimes it allows you to get somebody come up on a full hit on you, and when you spin right into that hit.
Bob, we were talking to his dad before the game. Played at Temple, he tells us, back in the day. So his son, who is a sophomore, Colorado State, already looking at him.
Yeah, his dad played at Dunbar first, Dunbar High School in Baltimore, and then played for his uncle, Stanley Mitchell, who, after Stanley Mitchell left Dunbar as the varsity football coach there, he became the varsity football coach at Morgan State and did a very nice job at Morgan State for a while.
First down by Reeves as he picks up that first down. 2:51 and counting left in the third. Boy, what a big defensive stand by Bel Air. Had Fallston been able to punch that ball in, Bob, again, they would have reattached the momentum. Right now, the Bobcats firmly have control of this game if they can continue grinding it out.
It's a lot of ifs down in there.
I know. In one sentence.
Ooh.
Here's Smith. On his feet, going to be hemmed in and taken down. Whole bevy of those Fallston players taking him down.
I like that. Smith just got hit and thrown around a little bit, and he just dropped the football and walked back to the huddle.
Good gain of 5. Yeah, that shows great discipline. It's easy to maybe say something or demonstrate. And right now the Bobcats are on the move with 2 minutes and counting left in the third period.
It looks like number 15 is coming to ball game at running back for them. Jacob Powell.
Jacob Powell, who was a good change of pace runner in that first half we saw. Reeves with the ball. He's going to be hemmed in and taken down there.
Really?
No, he's still on his feet.
It's a first down now.
Jacob Reeves, now he used all 204 pounds of that body.
They had a chance. They really had a chance to drop him for no gain or a yard. And he kept his feet moving, and nobody got down and really took his feet from him.
Yeah, Jacob says, hey.
And then he just overpowered them.
Jalen Reeves looked like, again, he was going to go down right in his own backfield, but instead picks up the first down and 10 at 49-yard line. Like how the Bobcats, as you said, Bob, have alternated backs. They've kept their backs fresh.
Oh, they have a lot of backs that can play.
And play well.
And they've got the big back that we just saw with the football. And there he goes again, except now he ran out.
Shifty, too. Not only is he big and strong, I think that's another first down. Down near the 40-yard line.
Ball carried by number 7, Jalen Reeves. On the tackle, number 12.
Clock will stop while they set the downs again. 1st and 10 at the 40. Bob, Fallston needs a big play here. A fumble.
They do. They need a defensive stop here somehow. And it's hard to get that when you keep running the football and gaining 5, 6 yards at a carry, and you don't fumble the football.
And it's such a varied attack. You know, they hit you from left, right, at crossbuck, and then Purtell when you least expect it. Double wing in motion. Smith gets the ball. Looking to get around the outside.
Ooh.
Nice block on that outside. Around the corner. Finally hemmed in and taken down. Boy, that was a crunching block there, Bobby.
Ball carried by number 1,
Well,
Smith.
I thought there was a flag.
Yeah,
There's
there
a
is a
flag on
flag,
the
and I
play.
think that crunching block, I think you and I both thought, was that a legal block?
Well, actually, that was the second play. I thought there was a block back on about the 38-yard line or 37-yard line that I thought was a real hold. But you know, it's hard to see everything.
The officials dropped 2 flags there, so they were able to see, and that's going to cost the Bobcats
Back against Bel Air, yeah.
big time. And instead of being down at the 10-yard line, it's going to be back near the 45, perhaps.
Now that's a play that really shouldn't gain a lot of yards if you set the edge, and
Which they did not.
which
you're
they
right.
did not. And you know, and Bel Air sealed that edge off really well. And you know, Tristan Smith, who can run, took it down there.
Ball is back at the original line of scrimmage. The penalty marked off from the site of the penalty. 1st down and 10. The ball at the just inside the 40.
Actually,
at
it's a
the
1st and 9.
Whistle blows. Another flag goes down.
Wait a minute now.
Let's see.
I need to.
See what the officials say. Offside against Fallston. Must have been lined up in the neutral zone.
Penalties encroachment. Fallston.
So now 1st down and a short 5. Clock stopped at 36 seconds left here in this 3rd period. Handoff around the outside. Is that Powell running with the ball? He's got a lane.
Yeah. Again, no edge set. And
Jacob Powell picks up good yardage. I think it's going to be enough for the
Flag.
1st down. Flag down. It's going to be
Holding.
against the Bel Air Bobcats. So wipe out that 1st down.
that's a holding penalty.
Been a fairly penalty-free game until just now, and now we've
Yeah.
seen a whole bunch of the laundry on the field. Key calls against the Bobcats.
You see that sign again. See, it was holding
Holding
or
was the-
personal foul, one or the other. What did it
Holding
give?
was the call.
Yeah.
So wipe out the 1st down. It's going to be now 1st down and 15. The ball just about at the 45-yard line. Got to get down to the 30. Brendan Purtell.
They can still run the football. It's only 1st and 14.
Yeah. Purtell keeps the ball. He's gone. Purtell running down that sideline. What a great fake and a touchdown. Brendan Purtell pulls the ball out of the pocket of Jalen Reeves and runs it in for a 40-yard touchdown run.
I'm telling you, Don, that was
Watch
the
this fake.
the old Alcesky days of beautiful ball fakes from their quarterbacks. It's a history in Bel Air, beautiful ball fakes from their quarterbacks. They've had so many great quarterbacks play here.
With 3 seconds left in the 3rd period. Brendan Purtell goes in untouched. What a great fake. I mean, the whole Fallston team collapsed on that fake inside. They stopped the ball carrier who didn't have the ball. Ashman for the attempted extra point. It's up, and it's good. And just like that, it is
Darius
35
Ashman's
to
extra point
14.
attempt is good.
I mean, obviously the way that the Bel Air running backs have been running in football, you pretty much, when you see that dive guy coming, you know, the big man coming at you, Jalen Reeves, you better get a lot of bodies there. So they brought a lot of bodies, except the quarterback didn't give him the ball. And he stepped into the next hole and just went 40 yards.
Really impressed with Brendan Purtell. Young man, again, just a junior, so he's got another year here at Bel Air.
Good player.
You figure he'll put on some size as well. 5'9", 145 pounds. He's a tough kid, very skilled, and very smart.
Yes to all three.
That's what you're supposed to do, Bob, as a commentator. Yes, Don, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, you expect that out of your wife, and she never tells
never
you.
does. No,
Yes, you're right.
So I'm hoping to get her here in the booth.
She keeps you in line.
She does. She does, and she's always right. I've learned that after 54 years of marriage. Yes, dear, are the two key words in the English language. Kickoff by Ashman. Bounces up nicely for Fallston. Run back to about the 27-yard line. As we start now the fourth period of play, with Fallston back down by that 21 points at 35-14. Remember, the score at the half was 21-14, and it looked like Fallston had assumed the momentum, but Bobcats took care of that on their first drive, stopped Fallston deep in their territory, and then drove down for the next touchdown.
It's very difficult for Fallston now because they have to drive the field, and you know, when they really under pressure to have to throw the football, it's tougher for them to throw the football. But now
Coming out here to the near side.
These are the passes that they can run and do well.
Nick Curry on that little flat pass.
But that's just like a run. And you know, the clock keeps going then.
Yeah.
So.
Ball at the 33-yard line. Pickup of about 4 on first down. Bobcats coming in on 2 straight losses. Fallston coming in on 4 straight losses. So obviously you need to win this ball game.
Well, somebody's going to be a winner.
Yeah. Bob, again, that's another one of those statements that you just come up with them.
I mean, it's just so obvious, you know. I thought about it. Geez, 50-50. Somebody's got it.
Nice fake. Wigan with the throw down
That's
the near
the pass
sideline.
that's intercepted.
Ball hung up there, was not able to be intercepted, but it does fall incomplete. That was Caden Marsh, the safety man, who already has 1 interception tonight.
They were lucky on that one because he got the ball up in the air, and that's the pass that really struggles throwing.
And sometimes you see Justin Wigan, who doesn't step into the pass. He throws it off that back foot, and the ball then tends to just sail on it.
Yeah.
He was so impressive at the end of the first half with that, you know, precise passing. Third down and about 6.
I'd really like to see a nice slant pass or something where the guy could catch it in stride and run.
Avoids 1 tackle, running the ball, looks for the first down. He's got it. Nice job by Wigan.
Now there's a flag on the field down here.
Flag right at the point where he was almost tackled.
Well, I don't think it was him. It was one of the wide receivers.
This may be coming back.
Yeah, holding.
That's a killer. Wigan, who had tucked it away and gotten the first down.
Yeah, ran really well.
Bob, we mentioned that the flags had begun to fly here in the third period. Normally you see flags early to let the players know exactly how far they can go, but the officials have begun to assert themselves here in the second half.
Officials assert themselves?
My partner has come, let's say officials and Bob McCone sometimes have not seen eye to eye. Going back in the day, of course.
Of course.
Bob, have you ever been an official? You ever been a referee? No.
Only for youth games. I wanted to be able to keep up with the game.
Wigan, rolling, throwing. He
It's
has
caught.
a man. I'm not sure, is the ball incomplete? Yeah, it's incomplete. It falls in. Looked like he was looking for one player, and the other player almost caught the ball.
I thought he did catch the ball, but he
Kevin Roberts,
didn't.
who dove for it.
Yeah, Kevin Roberts came back toward the ball, and he had a guy cutting in front.
And that was Brandon Claiborne.
Yeah, and
so the ball is incomplete, and that will bring up a 4th down. Punting situation for Fallston.
yeah,
10:46 left in the game, down by 3 scores.
yeah. I mean, you have to punt the football here, no matter what the score is,
Yeah.
because if you don't, it'll be 42-14 before you turn around.
Kalen Hemerick to punt the ball. Sort of a high wobbler. Takes a nice bounce for Fallston. Will go down past the 35-yard line to about the 34. Good punt.
Good punt.
So the Bobcats will take over with 10:36 to go, leading by 3 scores.
It's a 40-yard punt, really, after the roll was finished.
Flag down, so they're talking to Fallston. I didn't see.
4th and 11. Now, if it's 10, it would make it 4th and 1.
If it's a personal foul, it'll be a 1st down.
If it is a personal foul,
I didn't
yes.
see. Yeah, running into the kicker. Is that going to be the 15-yarder? Nope. They decline it, so it was just running into the kicker, I guess, and not the more serious penalty. So had it been the personal foul, that would have been a 15-yarder, but instead
It's only a 5.
a 5-yarder, so they decided to decline the penalty, knowing that it was a good punt. So the Bobcats will take over at their 34-yard line. Up by 3 scores with 10 minutes and a half left in the game.
Now we're going to see a lot of running the football. We should anyway.
And we'll see whether Fallston can take the ball away here.
Well, they need to set the edge once. They didn't again.
This is Tristan Smith.
Yep. The guy who's supposed to set the edge for Fallston, he has a tendency to cut inside and get sealed. And
Yep. And that
Bel Air
Jalen
turns.
Reeves, the big back, of course, Bel Air was so successful running the ball off tackle, it tends to make your Bob collapse.
yeah. Well, it might, but you better do your job, as Bill Belichick says. If your job is to stand there and not let those guys get outside, somebody better stand there and not let them get outside.
First down for the Bobcats, out of bounds and stopping the clock was Tristan Smith. Ball at the 45-yard line for the Bobcats. Good look at Brendan Purtell.
There's a dive right up the middle with the big man.
Jalen Reeves. They have, Bob, so many weapons.
But when you can bring that big stud straight up the middle and get 6, you know, like you said, Don, you got to pinch that way. And once you do that, off tackle becomes wide open. The edge becomes wide open. And Fallston has their defensive backs now up within 5, 6, 7 yards of the ball, which means you probably could dive somebody right up over the top and throw the football.
Flag goes down, and it's Powell with the run. He stays on his feet.
Yep.
Give the Bobcat runners credit. They just don't go down, but then if you're the Fallston tacklers, you've got to do a better job of getting them off
You got to
their
hit
feet.
them and knock them down.
Procedure is the call, so wipe that one out. It'll cost the Bel Air Bobcats 5 yards.
You know, blocking and tackling are the two fundamental of football. And when you get the opportunity to hit somebody and wrap them up and take them down, you know, you have to do it. I mean,
Bob, at any level of football, be it pro football, be it
Doesn't
college,
matter.
be it high school, be it pee-wee,
doesn't matter.
you've got to hit and you've got to wrap up.
And take them down. You know, you got to get them to the ground. And if you're not willing to step in and wrap that up and get the guy to the ground, you know, good backs are going to move their feet and they're going to keep trying to run and trying to push. And Jalen Reeves does that as well as anybody. And so
Second down, shotgun formation, 2nd and 9. Purtell keeps the ball. This time they do set the edge and do take him off his feet.
Quarterback keeper number 11, Brendan Purcell.
Good job staying at home. It looked like
58, Aaron Bineker.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I don't see the big back in the ball game.
David Bogosh, number
Is he in the ball game
56,
for him?
making that tackle along with 58, Eric Bineker. Yeah, I don't see him in the game either.
He's coming in now.
Here he is. The big back, Jalen Reeves. Jalen averaging 10.7 yards a carry. With a big back, you know, that 10.7 yard, that's a very gaudy per carry average.
Oh, it is. I mean, not only is he running over top of you, but he's taking a few people with him for some yards.
Bobcats have done a great job this year, having had that forfeit first game of the year. They could have gotten down, but they won 2 in a row. They lost 2, and now right now it looks like they're on the way to perhaps a victory.
There's a pressure from Fallston. First time, big sack.
Good job taking down off his feet.
Now that's a good defensive set right there.
And that's Justin Wiegand, the quarterback, in on defense, number 10. He said, hey, I'm used to being sacked. I can sack as well.
He's a talent.
Is that turnaround fair play?
Well, here's the amazing thing is that he's, on defense, he plays up on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he's a big kid.
Quarterbacks, you want to hide your quarterback at safety or.
Here comes the punt. Ashman.
Uh-oh, there
Ashman
it
goes down, and that is going to be running into the kicker or roughing the kicker.
You say Ashman's from Australia, Don?
He is.
He learned in soccer when to dive.
That was, Darius did a nice job of being knocked off his pins.
Yeah,
getting congratulated by his teammates. Officials are talking to.
I thought he was Cristiano Ronaldo there.
Explain that to us uneducated.
Over his career, he can dive as well as any of the American Olympic divers.
He's a soccer player is what he is, right?
He's a great one.
My partner is a great fan of European English soccer, right?
I love soccer. I love football, but I love soccer also.
There's really not a sport you don't like, now that you come to really think about it.
There has to be something boring.
No. You know, one thing in 26 years of doing this, Bob, I have come to love every sport that I've done, and that was not always the case. There were some sports that I didn't have a whole lot of respect for.
Yeah, I used to feel like that about field hockey when my daughter played, but I was beaten out of that by my daughter.
There's a pass downfield. It's going to be overthrown.
And the rules changed in field hockey and made it a much, much better game. It used to be there was obstruction and interference like every 12 seconds.
And they would call the penalty, and it would take them 5 minutes to get the field reset. Now they just wave their arm and they go the other way. And I'm with you.
And what changed it was I went to Temple to see a tournament. I had to take my daughter to a field hockey tournament at Temple, and I watched North Carolina and Iowa play field hockey, and about 4 or 5 of the women in that game played on the U.S. Olympic field hockey team, and they were great players. And it was such a different game.
Flag does go down in the backfield. It looked like that was pass interference. The official picks up his flag and throws it a bit closer to where the interference occurred.
I'm getting distracted here, Don. I thought I was smelling meatballs here for a while. I was getting hungry here. Please.
Yeah. You know, it is. It smells like Philadelphia. It smells like a Philly cheesesteak right there.
That was smell like some sausage and some meatballs.
Oh, my partner is going to take a little break to go down to the snack bar. That's going to cost a 10-yard penalty up to the 49. That will be a first down for the Cougars.
You know, give Fallston credit. They're down 35-14, but they have not stopped playing in this football game.
They're playing their arch rival. They're not about to get down. Wiegand,
reverse.
Double reverse.
Uh-oh. Blockers.
Is he
Look
open?
at the pursuit. Look at the pursuit.
Great job by the Bobcats.
Three Bel Air players in that pursuit.
Nick Curry, the flanker to the near side, he got the double reverse, and good job by the Bobcats to close it down.
I mean, it was a nice play by Fallston, but Bel Air has speed, and their backs were in hot pursuit.
Wiegand back in the quarterback after playing defensive line. in the last series. Back to throw. Now he's going to roll. Looking. Throws it cross field. It's going to be intercepted. That ball was up for grabs by the safety. That's Caden Morris. I think that's his second interception of the game.
One of the things that they tell you is that you, as a quarterback, is try not to throw the ball back across your body.
Yeah.
Because it usually hangs and gives the defense time to cut in front of it, and that's what happens.
Caden Morris with his second interception of the game. Caden came into the ball game, Bob, with 2 interceptions already. My math is not great, but I think that's like doubling his total.
Could be.
We were told by our folks in the truck that because of the length of this game, we won't have time at the end of the game for post-game interviews, so we'll wrap it up for you during the end of the game. Tristan Smith with the run, giving ground, showing some speed, but also a great pursuit by Fallston.
Yep.
That looked like Gavin Yetter, the linebacker.
Yes. He actually had that edge set a little bit and kept him from going around the corner.
Bobcats lose about a yard on that play. They took the ball over at the 45-yard line of Fallston. Full house backfield. They give on the crossbuck.
Yep.
I think that's Powell. Yep, number 15 down to the 40. Looks like a timeout on the field.
You know, Don, when we talked about Fallston's head coach Jimmy Grant, the one thing that we really forgot to mention that we had in there is that speaking about not only coaching, coaching's teaching.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Grant is outstanding history teacher at Fallston High School. Maryland's History Teacher of the Year, 2016.
Yeah, you and I taught social studies during our careers, and
neither one of us was ever.
No,
National
I was not
Teacher of the
nominated
Year,
for
no.
Teacher of the Year, not once. I
No.
did nominate myself, but that didn't go very far. But yeah, congratulations. Jimmy is a great educator, a nice young man, and he's the kind of coach that will long term. He's been with the program for 24 years, Bob,
Yeah.
as an assistant coach under Coach Seske.
Yeah.
Of course, Dave Seske, your friend, my friend, that we go back to the Aberdeen days when he broke in as a rookie coach at Aberdeen. And then when Fallston opened, he went over to Fallston and is a legend at Fallston.
He should be, as many years as he put in at Fallston. I mean, holy cow.
40 plus years.
And Dave's here in the audience today watching this game
Yeah.
with his grandson,
Purtell with the throw.
who actually goes to Bel Air High School. His other grandson goes to Havre de Grace High School.
Wow.
Or whatever, grandson, granddaughter, I'm not sure which
Dave
one he
Seske,
told
of
me.
course, the son of the late great Al Seske, who, introduced pretty much football into Harford County. At Bel Air, he was the coach in 1950 through about, 1965 or so.
He retired in 65.
Went on to be the athletic director for the county.
Did a great job, and tell them what he did a great job doing, Don. With
Mostly women's sports,
Yes.
and it's amazing because Al was the ultimate tough guy, male sport kind of guy. And when he became the athletic director for the county, he introduced, Title IX was coming in at that time, and he didn't fight it. He adapted and adopted Title IX to, the girls' sports became Purtell now running the ball. And finally out of bounds he goes. Bob, the other thing too, lacrosse, swimming, gymnastics,
yes,
volleyball. I could go on the sports that Al Seske ushered in that gave so many more kids a chance to play. And as a football coach, you would have thought he would have been, the opposite. He would have been football
Yes.
only. But Al Seske showed his true greatness in being a women's physical education and athletics advocate, as well as other non-contact, quote-unquote, sports. Purtell.
and of course, I have to mention that all of the friends of Al Seske created an Alcesky Scholarship Fund, where every year they give their organization gives out $54,000 worth of scholarships to high school seniors in Harford County, and that includes all the public schools. It includes John Carroll and Harford Christian.
Bob, you're too modest to mention it, but Bob McCone is the head of that organization now, taking over for his son. And they do so much good every year. The kids, I love going to the Sesky Foundation banquet because you just sit there in awe of how the kids have accomplished so much.
Well, to listen to the biographies of the students, it's absolutely incredible what the young people in Harford County schools do.
That's Powell with the run.
You know, the scholarship's based on athletics. It's based on academics. That's 70% of what it's based on. Then there's 10% for community service, 10% for school service, and a 10% for an essay that they write. And the committee makes the decision. One male super winner, one male or female super winner, and every student, male, female, from each school gets a minimum of a $2,000 scholarship.
That's nice.
So
Jalen Reeves right up the middle.
So
he's still running hard. And Bob, along with that, the Charlie Riley Foundation scholarship, which came in a bit later, back in the mid 2000s, 2006-07, who similarly give out scholarships not only to deserving senior athletes and students, but also to the fire and police. In this county.
Yes.
First responders.
Who do a fantastic job in this county. I mean, for 40 years that I lived in this county, the fire departments that I lived close to were absolutely amazing. Level. When I was in Havre de Grace.
Reeves with the run. He's going to go in with the touchdown at 4:48.
Joplin Magnolia when I lived in the Edgewood area. In Edgewood. Fantastic. They just do such a great job in this county.
And they're volunteers.
And they're volunteers. That's the thing that, yes.
They do it because they love their communities.
Yep.
Jalen Reeves with the touchdown. It is a 12-yard touchdown run, and that builds the score now to 41-14. Bob, when people see this score in the paper tomorrow, they'll think, wow, Bel Air blew them out. But the score at half, 21-14. The Bobcats came out, got a nice run back on that kickoff, and they have dominated here in the second half.
Yeah,
and
the sad part is Fallston has really played well. I mean, they've been consistent. They've tried. They just don't have the depth. They just don't have the talents, and yet technically, you know, they were there.
Yes.
And so it's just going to take Coach Grant and the staff a few years to get this together. And once they do, you know, they're going to start competing at a high level again. And you know, the schools who are beating them now better appreciate it now, because that probably will not continue to happen.
And the spirit, you're down 21-0. It would have been easy just to roll over and say, hey, this game is out of reach. They come back and make it 21-14. Took the momentum away from the Bobcats. And they give the Bobcats and Eric Siegel a lot of credit that they come out in the second half. And, you know, after being punched in the mouth, so to speak, they come back and just dominate this second half.
That was it. When they got Bel Air came out and got the football, and they took it down the field, and the game went from 21-14 to 28-14, and Fallston started to drive back again, and then Bel Air stopped them.
Yep.
And then from that point on, they just wore Fallston down to the point where Fallston kept giving it their best shot, but you know.
Boy, so many stars for the Bel Air Bobcats. Brendan Purtell, the quarterback, the junior quarterback, just outstanding. Throwing the ball, running the ball. Jalen Reeves, Tristan Smith.
You look at the difference now. Fallston's running one back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Bel Air's running 5,
mm-hmm.
and good backs.
Yes. And a variety of plays.
Yes.
They stop the inside play, so then they go out wide.
Or the quarterback keeps the football. And
the fake that Purtell made, he would have made Jeff Grants a little jealous, I think. Jeff Grants, who was the ultimate in the sleight of hand back in 1972. I can remember watching him against Salesianum. Just, how in the world did he keep the ball when they thought for sure he'd given the ball off to Tommy Amrine or Vince Carpenter?
I saw 2 games when Dennis Dunn played quarterback for Bel Air, and the referees in the 2 games I saw blew 4 inadvertent whistles, thinking that somebody had the ball that didn't have the ball. They blew the whistle. And
Pat Hennessy, the Bel Air coach who succeeded Al Seski, used to tell the officials, keep your eye, don't blow the whistle, but they would invariably blow the whistle by mistake.
Yeah.
You want to blow it quickly because you don't want to get anybody hurt when they have the ball and they're down, but that run there by number 28, and that's Cameron Burns in the ball game for the Fallston Cougars. They do pick up a first down. He's out of bounds. 3:56 left here in the contest. 42-14 is our score. It was 21-14 at the half. It's been all Bel Air here in the second half. 3 touchdowns. 2 in the third period, 1 here in the fourth period.
Yeah. The right end jumped offside.
Catch made there by 21 Brian Sturgis. That the ball will come back.
I don't know how they call that a false start. It was an offside, and just 20 just jumped.
I don't know, Bob.
We won't say his name. But
I told Eugene Vickers Jr. that I had his cell phone number in case he made a mistake. I was going to, he looked at me like, you're kidding, aren't you? Talking about the officials now. Yes, Mr. Vickers, I am just kidding.
Yeah, officials don't have a sense of humor, I can tell you.
Now the fielding goes in, complete contact, but no flag. And, well, there was no flag.
There was no flag, there was no foul. I mean, really.
Officials are taught to be like policemen in some cases. Never, remember, Bob, when we first started teaching, they said never smile until Thanksgiving.
Oh, I heard Christmas.
Well, Thanksgiving, because you never wanted the students to know you were human. You were just a Robotron out there, enforcing the rules. It's sort of the same way with officials. You have to have that.
Well, Bel Air is 1 short right now, so there he comes.
You have to have that air of authority, I guess.
Yeah.
That's why they give them a whistle.
Let me tell you what I really think an official thinks.
Now, come on, we're on TV, public TV. We cannot say what you may want to say here.
No, all I'm going to say is they honestly believe they start out perfect and only get better.
Well, yeah.
But the really good officials, and there have been many of them up here, they do such a fantastic job that it's incredible. I saw, we played a game against our arch rival one year, and we were both loaded and in contention to win the county title.
We're talking about basketball.
Basketball.
Aberdeen.
Yes, Aberdeen, Havre de Grace, and we had a rookie, pretty much a rookie official on a game like that, and the other official was a seasoned official, and we said something. Both coaches said something to the seasoned official before the game. Hey, look, I know you don't know your partner, but he just really started. That senior official helped his partner, walked him through the game to where neither coach had anything to say about the officiating that night. And best officiating job I ever saw.
I'll tell you a quick story about Cal Ripken Sr., who was a legend in Harford County and a fiery guy. He was coaching a player manager with the Aberdeen Canners in the Susquehanna League. And one day they had a baseball game and the umpire didn't show up. Robbie Wallace, the late great Robbie Wallace, my boss at the Aegis when I was there, was a sports writer at the time. And Cal came up to Robbie and said, Robbie, we don't have an umpire, we can't play. Would you umpire for us? And Robbie said, oh no, I've seen the way you treat umpires, I'll not umpire. Cal said, I guarantee you that nobody will give you any trouble. If you'll umpire, we can play the game, nobody will give you any trouble. So Robbie said, I'll do that. Puts on the gear. That time he had the big, balloon chest protector. First play, he calls a play. Cal Ripken comes out and gets in his face. Rah, 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 rah. Robbie took off the mask, took off the chest protector, said this game is over, and left. The first play, Robbie said he didn't know what it was.
That was Senior.
But Senior came out, it was in his case. I'll tell you another quick Cal Ripken Senior story in a moment. Ball going nowhere there. Now, this is alleged. I will say I can't verify this, but the San Diego Chicken, if you remember,
I've heard this story.
Was a comic routine. He would come out and harass
Yes.
the players, and this was in a spring training game, and he came out and he was harassing Cal. Cal was coaching third base, and Cal said, "Look, it's baseball. I take it seriously. Get away from me." The chicken kept pecking at him. I heard, I can't verify this, that he turned around and just cold cocked the chicken. If it's not true, it should be true because that sounds like Cal. I warned the chicken, leave me alone. The chicken wouldn't leave him alone, so down goes the chicken. Cal Sr., what a great man, what a legend in Harford County. We talked about Al Seski, Jim Smith, the great coach at Aberdeen. Just the people who have made sports what they are here in the county.
Well, they really started the sports in Harford County to, I mean, so many.
We can't leave out Bud Coakley, our great coach at Edgewood.
The North Hartford coaches, John Grubb,
Frank Mezzanotte.
Frank Mezzanotte in Edgewood. From a lacrosse standpoint, John Grubb, Dave Allrath, Frank Mezzanotte, absolutely fantastic, great coaches in their mind.
Jack McCracken in baseball.
Jack McCracken.
My goodness.
Who was the football coach in North Hartford with the Glamps?
Chuck Zaleski.
Chuck Zaleski, did an absolutely fantastic job.
Pat Hennessy, we mentioned.
There.
Bob,
Pat
we're going to be
Hennessy.
here. Let's see. They said we got 2 minutes and 17 seconds. We're going to be here all night just listing the great coaches. Terry Colall, of course, our great
coach,
friend.
great mentor, great friend.
The late, great Terry Colall. Just on and on. Coaches who give so much of themselves. Certainly not for the money. Obviously, at one point, there was no money at all.
Alice Puckett,
female coaches. And, oh, my goodness.
What a great coach.
And a great friend of kids.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have started this, Bob, because we'll leave out
I've left out so many to this point. I mean, I think of the track coaches and the, some of the Janie Anderson, at average. There's so many of them. Carol Barker,
yes,
at Edgewood,
and Bel Air.
Bel Air. Dolores Simmons, way back at Edgewood High School.
98 and a half years young, still, living up in Honesdale, PA. Hall of Fame member of the Edgewood. Began the Edgewood female program where they had to sew their own uniforms. The parents had to supply transportation to away games because in those days, girl athletes, they just,
Hey, who's running that football?
That wasn't part of what they did. 2 minutes and 11 seconds, the clock running. Dylan, I'll ask you in the booth, how much time do we have?
Arnold Warrior on that carry, huh? Number 16.
Yeah, a young man, we haven't mentioned his name at this point. The fans are turning around to ask us if we are okay with the way they've been talking during the game. We're fine. I want to thank Tony Blackburn, the athletic director, and Greg Commodore, the principal here. They always, Bob, make us feel so
this is a great place to come for us.
Craig Reddish, Calvin Skelton over in the booth. Just great people at Bel Air. As everywhere around the county, we couldn't put these games on without the cooperation of the coaches. And
45, Darius Ashman.
There he is, the Australia guy.
How about that?
Getting a chance to carry the ball. But really, the help we get in terms of the school personnel, they just make us feel so welcome and accommodate us. Inside a minute left in this contest. The Bobcats going now to 3-3 on the year. Fallston will fall to 1-5.
He's taking the clock down to where right before he has to make the snap.
Brendan Purtell.
Yep.
Hands it to Ashman. Ashman running hard.
Of course, I don't know. I don't know whether they have another quarterback at Bel Air, but I might have taken him out at this point and protected him.
34 seconds, 33. I want to thank you for tuning in as all year long, watching us on the Harford County.
We have to sign off, so
yep.
What do we have to say down right here?
We just have to say our final score 42-14. The Bel Air Bobcats leading 21-14 at the half, scoring 3 unanswered touchdowns here in this second half and winning the ball game going away at 42-14. Their record evening now at 3-3. Fallston falling to 1-5. Hope you've enjoyed this game. Bob McCone, my partner, Don Morrison, it's been our pleasure to be with you as the Bobcats on their home field win this ball game, and now they get ready for their homecoming game next week against the Hartford Tech Cobras. Bob McCone, any closing words here for the fans?
I thought Bel Air played really well, both at the beginning of the football game for the first 24 minutes and then the whole second half. I thought Fallston played outstanding for 6 minutes in the first half, and they played their hearts out in the second half, even though the score doesn't reflect it. So on to next week.
On to next week. The arch rivals have met here in Bel Air. It's been a good, clean, hard-fought game. The Fallston Cougars losing by that final of 42-14. Again, thank you for tuning in. My partner, Bob McCone, Don Morrison, will sign off and say enjoyed it and hope you did as well. Good night, everyone.
Yeah. Good night.